Hello. Welcome to Code with NM, and I am excited to have you all here. In this live, we are going to understand the code base and related to each and every concept we have used in our work sphere. What is work sphere? I've already explained this in my previous life. We have started a real industry based backend API application which is based on Python. And what is the architecture, what are the concept, why I am using JWT, what is hashing, what is bearer token, everything was explained in my previous live. So make sure you subscribe to Code with NM and go to the playlist and watch that live. That live simply name is hash 10. This is hash 11. Now today in this video we are going to understand the code word to word, line by line. So before starting, first thing first, up till now, how was your experience and how is your experience if you are still going through my videos and you are not reach up till this today's live? So make sure to comment how are you finding it difficult, are you finding it easy, or it's in between. So this type of feedback will help me to improve my live videos and of course to improve the resources and the projects I'm demonstrating to you all. Okay, before starting, I will be giving a quick recap about what is WorkSphere and what we have created. I've already demonstrated this in my previous live in Postman. So today I will be doing it at very end after the code explanation is done. But now we will understand the documentation part of this. Okay, let me quickly open documentation. And I hope this is visible to you all. Let me zoom in. If I zoom in a bit more, I think this is very clear. So I've named it as WorkSphere API. You already see, and this is the documentation FastAPI has created for us. This is a Swagger documentation. That's what the one of the feature of FastAPI. That's why we are shifting from Flask API to FastAPI, and this is in demand because now we don't need to sit and create all the Swagger document from our own, or we as a backend engineer don't need to sit with the documentation engineer in real world in MNC. This is how it operates. This is how it happens. FastAPI do that painful job for us. Okay, so it creates all the documentation which is required for this application. How it generates all the documentation? It generates the required document which you have created, the APIs, the only APIs you have created. So it will document those APIs. It won't document like I never created slash students or slash bank in this project, so you won't be able to find this that APIs. Okay, so this is the description. So we have passed this description. It simply says enterprise workforce management backend provides JWT secure authentication. We already seen this architecture, and now we know how what is JWT and how it secured our backend application, and full employee lifecycle management with role base. That is nothing but RBAC back and role-based access control and search, filtering, paginations, sorting, and profile image upload. So we have already seen this in my previous live. Today we are going to see the documentation. And first thing first, we have three things over here in the documentation. So first is authentication, second is employee, third is health. Health is nothing but our APIs which we have created, and it is I have MongoDB running behind the scene, and of course my whole code base is running behind the scene in VS Code. This is the health, and this is the real health check. Why? If you're working in, or you are working as a backend engineer, you already know why this health APIs is required. You need to test it first, any of the API or your project is running or not. That's why this slash health check API is required. And if you see, it's nothing but this only, localhost colon 8000 slash docs. This is holding that only itself. Okay, and this is the schema and everything. The schema is nothing but what we have created inside our project. Like we have the validation, the user role, user response, user resistance, and I will be I'm not going through this with the documentation. I will be showing you all through the code base. So let's understand now the authentication. And in authentication we have three APIs. Two are post, one is get. So this is easy. So if you are working with the fast API and you have already coded and you are working with a team or people of 5 in a group, then you are the one who created the APIs. Then share this document with them and they will go through this documentation and they will know, okay, inside authentication you have created two post, one get. So this makes our life easy as a backend developer. Documentation of APIs. In employees we have this many, and in health we have only one. This is the get one. If you want to try it, so let me minimize this employees and authentication first, and let's first try the health one. Just click on this get, and it says check the basic APIs. There is no parameter required, and the response will be the request URL is nothing but your localhost 8000, and response, if it is success, if it is 200, the response will nothing but this success true, and it says workspace API is running, and you can visit /docs, which I am on the current API itself /docs. So let's copy it, and if you want to try it over here, you can try it over here also. See, here is a button of try it out. You can click it and try it, but I want to show you into the web itself. So see, it says the same thing, success true, and workspace API is running. That is the health check. So this is the same thing. It's in the response body. How it came there, everything I will be explaining you once we jump onto the VS Code. Okay, so let me now jump to authentication. So we have three APIs, and if you see, all the APIs has a proper routing /API/v1/auth. The only thing is changing here is endpoint. The last one is register, this is login and me, and of course the code related to them will also change. So it says if you want to register a new user, use this API, and if you click it, how to use it, what needs to be passed. So this is the request body. You need to pass this, the email, the name, and the password, and the role. That person is HR on admin in your organization. So that is the request body you need to pass. And if it is success, it will give you 201, means that particular user has been created. So anything created in the API world is known as 201. Okay, and in schema, means in DB, it is stored in this format with the ID, with the name, when it is created, and of course the role. Okay, and if there is any error, like 422, if there is any error, it will show the error in this format. And we have already seen this in many videos of mine working with FastAPI. We get this type of error, and of course in the previous video also I've purposely generated an error to show you all. Okay, so once I will share you all the code after this live. So download the code, and first thing first, you just run the code, create the DB and collection required in the MongoDB, and then you run it. And first you visit this localhost :8000/docs. In my case, my FastAPI is running on 8000. In your case, might if your port 8000 is busy, it will be running on some other port. So don't come in Discord or on Instagram to me like you have said it should work on 8000. In my case, it's not working. It's the simple basic understanding. In your terminal, it will show that your FastAPI application is running on so and so port. Okay, so I'm not going through everything because we have already seen this. If you want to go and see anything like get inside employees, get list and search for the employees, you can click here, try now. Or if you want to get any detail of particular employee, so let me just execute once. Let me open the DB. Let me get the ID of one employee which we have already created. So let's pass the employee ID here. So we need to click. See, I am not able to click on this because I have not clicked on try it out. So let me first click on try it out, and once I clicked it, it says cancel, and here now I can pass the employee ID which I have copied from my DB itself, and then execute it. And after executing, this is the request URL which we pass in Postman. and the detail, and if you see error, and what is the error? 401. It says missing authentication token, because everything was we need to pass any API under employees we are performing, we need to pass the token. That was a bearer token, so I have not passed a bearer token, so that's why this error has been generated. Okay, if I pass the bearer token, it will give me the proper response code, like in this format, 200 response code, and it will give me. So this all we have already seen in previous live. I'm just showing you how to do it with the Swagger documentation. This is known as a Swagger documentation, and FastAPI already generate this for us. So you can try this with the help of Postman. There it is easy, or else you can also uh, try here on /docs. Hello, welcome to Code with Anam. Okay, so now if you understood this, now let's jump onto the architecture again, and then I will jump onto the code. So let me open the architecture. Okay. And meantime, also you if I'm jumping here there in between files, you all can answer this: I'm going fast, I'm going slow, you are getting this topic, you are not getting this topic, you're getting this example, or I can give you more example on the same topic. Why I'm saying this? Because if you're joining me live, it is helpful to give me feedback, or else you're seeing this video offline, you need to provide your feedback, because you are the one learning, I'm the one teaching. I need a feedback from you all that I'm going fast, I'm going slow, this topic is not understandable. Please give more than one example on a particular topic, so you all can get it. This type of feedback will help me to improve the live for you to get that topic and learn it easily. Okay, so feedback is much more important. Make sure you provide the feedback. So this is the architecture. So this is the client, route, util, module, and MongoDB. Why I'm showing it again? In previous live I already discussed this, and in detail I've explained you everything, but now I'm just adding one new things to it, and that is nothing but MongoDB has our two collections. One is user, the second is employees, and anything from MongoDB won't directly go to the client. We have a proper flow. So anything from, if client is requesting anything, it directly won't go to the DB itself. There is a route, there is a util, it will go through routes, then come to the util. Then also if there is any error, so it will go to the middleware. After that, if there is no error, it will continue to the model, and then model is the one who is the responsible, who will connect with MongoDB and get the required data, and then model is the one who gives back to the other layers, and then it ultimately reaches to client. In any of the real world application, client can never communicate with DB directly. Okay, so this was the most important thing in the architecture for today. Okay, let me open the VS Code, and let's jump onto the code and also understand this architecture in the folder and file structure over there. Okay, see here I'm already running and it says here, let me zoom in a bit. I think now it is visible. Yes. Okay, here it says my application is running on 127.0.0.1:8000, and this 127.0.0.1 is nothing but localhost. Okay, for you it's will be same, but the port might be different in our case. Okay, see here also it says unauthorized. That was I didn't pass the bearer token. So let's understand here on the left side we have just leave that first one, understand this, the app. The second is upload. I will be coming on to the upload, and then I will be explaining you what is that upload and what it stores. And the second is env.example. Third is main.py, which is our ultimate file. Here if you see, the command is uvcron main :app -- reload. So main is the ultimate over here, and I think in every project related to Python we have main.py or app.py. And then there is a detail level of readme. If I open this, I have just word to word, explanation to explanation, API to API, everything in detail. I've just created the documentation for this project, and I will be sharing this all. If you see, if I need to, then if you want to see the architecture itself in one go, so this is the architecture if you see, and here is the request, route, util. I was explaining this model and DB. So model is the one who connects with DB. Okay, this is the explanation. The HTTP layer, request, validation happens there, status code and docs. So route is responsible for there, and the util are responsible for cross-cutting concern like JWT, password hashing, RBAC, and then data accessing layer is nothing but our models, which connects with MongoDB, runs the query, serializations, and then database is nothing but we have the indexes and data store over there. Okay, so this is the proper, this request is nothing but client. So this is the flow, and this was the architecture I was talking about, and I will be sharing this complete project and readme to you all. So after you go on this video thoroughly, you can download this project and just go through the readme and each and every word to word explanation I have, why I've created this, why this is required and why not. Each and everything is there. Okay, so I'm not going through word to word in this live for this readme, and I've also given the example how to use this in if you're using through bash is nothing but if you're using with your CMD, or you're running with the PowerShell, if you know about what is PowerShell, or else you can just directly copy paste this URL in Postman, and the command is post, and this is the body. So you already know this. I taught you about how to use Postman. Okay, so let's not waste time on the readme, because this is the documentation required to for you to understand this. Okay, here is the requirement file. I've already in many of my fast API. Hey, hi, hello, welcome to Code with NM. A star gaming, I think your name is showing that way. Okay, requirement.txt. So I've already explained you what this file does and how we can execute this file, and it has all the requirement libraries I have used in this project. Okay, so just have this in place and just run the command. I will share you all the command list also, what are the command, how you install this and everything in your system too. Just let me go through all the codes and file which is required. So this is the architecture. App has everything. Upload is also required. I will explain you. We have env, and in local I've created .env.example, but in real world it's .env only, and main.py, readme and requirements.txt. Okay, so readme and requirement.txt I've already explained. Let's see what app has. So inside app we have our proper architecture. If you see, there is another file. If this is not visible, let me zoom in more. I think now my screen is visible. Let me close this and just minimize the terminal because it is not required right now, and maximize this. Okay, so here inside app I first created the database, of course the middleware, the models, the route, the schemas and util. This all I've already talked in the architecture diagram. Yes, and the database holds the file MongoDB, and if you see, our middleware is nothing but it is used for error handling to check the validation. So all the validation files are inside middleware. It's nothing but logging and validation, and which is this is the most important file models, because this model file communicates with our DB, then routes, all the routes like slash, post call, get call, delete call, everything goes inside this auth.py, which is the authentication call. For example, in our case is register, login, and the other one slash me one. This is inside the auth because that is authentication and authorization. And what are these two? I've already talked and explained in detail in my previous life. And employee.py. Yes, all the API calls related to employees are inside employees.py. I'm just giving you high level examples and understanding what goes where and why it is inside this. Later on, after I've completed this, we will be jumping into each and every file and I'm explaining you the code. Okay, might some of you will think, hi Shashank, might some of you will be thinking that why I'm not coding it live over here. So this is a very huge project. I think I missed a lot of live sessions. No worries. All the live sessions are offline, and it is acting as an recorded video. So you can go through all those videos and then jump onto this live. Because yes, if you miss any of the live, you won't be getting that how we come up to this real world industry project. Because I think the architecture itself, maybe if you are starting with a backend career, architecture itself, you are getting it. Okay, this is hard. I'm not getting it. It's nothing hard. It's just you have missed few lives. That's why you're thinking it. This is hard. Okay, coming back to the point is I'm going through high level folder structure and files, which is nothing but the architecture, and then we will go inside each and every file. Why I'm not coding live here is because each and every file has 100 plus lines of code. If I start coding 100 plus lines of code for each and every file in this live, I think might this live will end in next 8 to 9 hours. So our motive is to understand the code, and my motive is to make you understand and then you code yourself. Okay, I will share this project with you all, but again, after learning this code, how to create this type of backend project, you just have your own project. This is nothing but I've created a complete employee management system. You can also do a backend project for a food management system. For example, in MNCs, many of the MNCs provide food free for the employees, or else there are paid food also. So you can create your own cafeteria inside the MNCs. You can create all the APIs and such type of project and get a hands-on knowledge on that. Okay, that's why I'm not coding, because if I open one file, see, employees file is only having 233 lines of code. If I set and code this much, this live will never be ending. Okay, and it will be boring for you all. So our concept, our main thing is, here we are to learn. Coding is nothing but once we understand the stuff, we can code. For example, if you know what is the answer of 2 plus 2, of course each and everyone know 2 plus 2 is 4. Now I am saying that convert this 2 plus 2 into code. You will do num1 equals to 2, num2 equals to 2, print num1 plus num2. This is easy, because why? Because you understand what is 2 plus 2 and you know the Python syntax. So it's nothing but we know now how to connect MongoDB. What is MongoDB? We know what is FastAPI, we know what is JWT, we know what is hashing, we know what is bcrypt over here. I've already explained this in my previous live. So now we are going through the code understanding on high level. I'm not going through coding itself, because I know, I have trust on you, you can code it. Okay, so this was about routes, and in schema we have the two schema created, the user and the employees. Understood? And the main thing is the util. Here we have auth.py and password.py. I will be jumping into those two in details. Okay, I hope architecture is clear up till now what I have told you, and we will be concentrating on inside app and each and every folder, database, middleware, models, routes, schemas and utils in this life, and of course main.py, because ultimately we are running our project from main.py itself. Okay, and in each of the file I have added the comments where it is required, like here. And this is not a comment, but I have added many comments where the explanation is required. Okay, so let's start with main.py file. Before starting and jumping onto this, if you have any doubt regarding anything, make sure you comment in the live chat and clear it out right away, right here, or else you can also connect with me on Discord. And I have already started with career guidance sessions with many of you on, I think, yesterday only. On Thursday I have 3 sessions, and that was done, and the session was very good. And the learners who connected with me for their career guidance in the session was of 1 hour. So they have got a very good idea where to start and what they need to do in their life. Okay, because we sit and decided the roadmap for them. So make sure you also register for the career guidance. It is free up till 10 first 10 learners. After that I will be making it paid. So let me share the link for it, so those who are interested, they can register themselves. Okay, I've just pinged it in the live chat. Those who are interested, make sure you register yourself. Okay, so okay, the CNV file, and okay, I will be coming to env at end, because this is important file, but it has bare minimum things in this project. So okay, so let's jump onto the main.py, and once I start explaining this, I won't be able to see the live chat. So what I will do, I will be explaining two parts in this file, and then I will be jumping to the live chat and verifying if you have any doubt or not. Okay, so let's start with import. You are seeing there is a lot of import over here. Okay, import logging, import context lib, and of course FastAPI, because this all are from FastAPI, and from FastAPI we have imported many things like middleware, CORS. What is CORS? I will be explaining you that if you are not sure what is CORS, and if you know what is CORS, just comment it down. And static files, why we are importing this, everything, and from app config settings, why we have imported settings over here. And then of course the connection to MongoDB, which is our database for the project. If you are using SQL, the code will change for the SQL, and import will be changed to SQL itself. Okay, and then register exceptional handles and everything, why we are importing this. So to understand import, let's jump onto the code itself, and then I will be explaining you rather than just explaining here itself. Okay, so first thing first, what is logging? Logging is nothing but, I've already explained you, but again I'm explaining this. Logging is if you are utilizing APIs, if you are using APIs through Postman, through your browser, through Swagger documentation, okay, or in your front end application also, uh, there might be a case there something went wrong from their side if they are utilizing your API. At that time, logging is important, that what API they have used, when they have used, what they have passed, mean inside the body what they have passed. This type of information is required to debug what went wrong. Okay, that's why logging is important. And here I have done just a basic logging in a form of info. Okay, thank you for the career guidance, really helpful for today's generation. You're welcome, and hope the roadmap I have created for you, you are working on that. Okay, and best of luck for your future endurance. Okay, so basic logging. So here if you see logging info, and here in terminal, if you see in green it says info. So from there it's coming from logging itself, and we have already imported logging. And here we says time. So first it is if you see here, let me highlight the thing. It's first have date, then it has time, it's 20:12:28 and then it is info, and this is workspear.request, means we are sending the request to workspear.request, means that is the API. And we have done a get call, and get call was /API/v1s and employees, and we have sent employee ID, and the response were 401 unauthorized, means this simply means we haven't passed the bearer token. So this type of logging is required in real world. This is the simplest logging. In real world we have very complex logging. We have much more data logged and stored in separate DBs, and then we go through that DBs to debug what went wrong for the customer, those who are utilizing the APIs. I hope you understand this. Okay, and this is nothing but a synchronous lifespan, means it is a fast API. Here I have in comment, I have just have verified DB connecting and build the indices, connect to MongoDB. Simply means we are connecting to our DB, and we if you connecting to the DB, you need to close that connection also, because connection happens from your local host IP and the port. If you close the application also, that doesn't make your MongoDB has been closed, or your connection with the fast API has been closed. Many people think closing the VS Code simply close the MongoDB connection, but that is not the case. So we need to to close the MongoDB connection also. And in real world also we handle this, but in real world application doesn't shut down. For example, Google never went down, Microsoft never went down. So but we have that code in place in real world also. Code is there, but we never shut the application down. When we shut the application down, if there is some hacking or something, then that time we close our DB and all the connections at all. I'm not getting some topic, feel that I need to cover all the previous session. Of course, can you mention those topic you are not getting? So I will let you know which live you or all the sessions you need to go through to understand all this. Okay, so here I've created app. Of course, for FastAPI or in Flask API also we create app. So FastAPI has few parameters. For example, first thing first, it's title. This is the name of our backend application, workspace, and the description. So this is the description of our backend API, and the version. So we work with version. I've already explained why versioning is required. If I change anything in this in APIs or any of the API, we can't directly update the version 1. We need to have those things into version 1.0.1 or version 1.0 or version 2. Okay, and the contact is name, workspace engineering team. So who developed this? Workspace engineering team. I can write my name also. I have developed this, but okay, this is a in professional world because this is a live project of it demonstrate the real world how we work in real world. So either it can be the company name and then engineering team, for example Microsoft engineering team, IBM engineering team, Google engineering team, or simply Google. Okay, and the lifespan is nothing but the lifespan, which is here, means it should connect to MongoDB and close the MongoDB connection. This was the complete thing. Now where this information is used, so this information is used, let me open this. The title, this is the title, and the description, this is the description over here. So now you understand how this document has been created, because we are the one who pass this detail from code base. Okay, now course, let's leave the course now. I will be coming to this topic, and then when I will be explaining you the middleware, then I will coming to the what is cross. It's nothing but cross origin sites. I will explaining you that once I will touch the topic middleware. Okay, let's jump on to here and this all. So if you see in main dot, let me I think still it is visible, yes, because I want to show this complete section altogether. Okay, if you see, we have created ample of APIs for employees. I delayed your session because of my college internal exam. I just ended the fundamentals video number 4, and I will continue from Monday onwards. Sure. And how was your how your exam went? I hope you have done well, and best of luck for the continuation from Monday, and hope you get most thing out of it. Okay, and if you are on video #4, then it is a long way to come up till here, but this is sure, once you come with #10, you will understand this #11 video. Okay. Okay, so if you notice in main.py, I only have 1 or 2 routes. This is one route, and this is the another route. But where are all the routes, like logging, register, creating employee, getting employee, deleting an employee, updating an employee? Where are those routes? Those routes are inside this routers folder. Those are inside this routers folder. That's why the architecture is important. We are not overdoing the main.py, but we have distributed each and everything inside a particular folder, which is nothing but a particular modules in our case. These are now acting as our modules, and I've already explained you what are modules in Python. So we have created our own modules, and inside that we have our 2 files, .py and employee.py, and there we are handling all the endpoints. These are known as endpoints. Okay, so here we have 2. First is app.mount. I will be explaining you what is mount. /upload. This is used for uploading the image file. that I've already shown you from the Postman, that profile image for individual employees, we can upload that. So we have upload it using /upload. Here is the static file, and we have already imported the static file. You have seen this is the static file. Why we are doing so? Because we can't store the images, that heavy images, because images are the size of image or the size of videos, uh, means the size, simply the size of binary files are more compared to JSON. JSON has 1 KB, 2 KB size, but images can have 1 MB, 2 MB, 3 MB, 4 MB, and we have the limit upload up till 5 MB, not more than 5. And where this condition is, if you see .env.example, I have here the file upload setting. It should go inside the uploads folder, so we should have the upload folder here. So I've already explained you, so sorry, I've already shown you, not explain you, the upload folder. So this is the upload folder, and the maximum upload size is 5 MB. It is in MB, it is 5 MB. Okay, let me jump to main again. So why we are storing this now, I will explain you the upload one. Why we are storing the images into upload files. Okay, upload folder. So in real world also, because I have took the example of a real scenario only, but here I'm doing it locally. I have not hosted this application on cloud. That's why I'm doing inside the uploads folder. If it was on the cloud, we need to store it on some other place. I will tell you those place also. So MongoDB or any database is created to hold datas which is in textual format. All the datas are in text format, text, number, anything, but those are in text format only, the string format. But they are not made to hold heavy datas like image, videos, binary files, and etc. Okay, so if you try to store, we can store our images in MongoDB, SQL, Supabase, but why we won't store it? For example, if one file is 5 MB, you have one user and you are storing that one user profile image in MongoDB directly. So MongoDB now weighs 5 MB of storage for that particular employee or user, your user. Now if you have 1000 user, so 1000 into 5, nothing but 5000 MB. So now your MongoDB using 5 GB, 5000 MB is nothing but 5 GB in storage, and soon enough you will burn out your DB itself. So you can say, okay, I have unlimited storage, I can have unlimited storage in MongoDB. Of course you can have unlimited storage, but in real world it's all bounded to money. If I am using 5 GB of MongoDB storage, it will cost to the company. Yes, because company majorly big MNCs has their own database, own servers, but the mid-size company or a startup or small company, they take service from MongoDB, SQL, or any other database which is required for their product. So they very strategically think what needs to be stored, what not needs to be stored in DB itself. Okay, that is why we don't store images or video directly to DB itself. So tell me, sir, where we need to store it? Of course, yes, all the MNCs store in Google Cloud Service, in Amazon S3 bucket, or Azure Blob Storage. If you are aware of these three cloud services is used for storing. So we store in Amazon S3 bucket or Google Cloud Storage, or nothing but Azure Blob Storage. We store there, and then how MongoDB have the reference of it, let me show you. That's why I've created this project. Here if you see emp0014724f74bc.png, this is the reference my MongoDB is holding for the profile image. In real world, this reference will be a proper URL. For example, https colon amazon dot s3 dot bucket, and then bucket id, then dot emp dot png, jpg, whatever format they are storing it. Understood this? Okay, now also let me open my folder structure and show you. See, inside upload, if you see, I have my image with the ID. So MongoDB only holds the reference means address with the reference, but in my case I have each and everything inside one project folder only. That's why I'm not storing it as slash upload slash this name of the file, because everything is in under one project folder. If it might be in some other folder, so I need to store it like slash c slash user slash something else, or else slash d slash employees and etc. Okay, so remember this, we only store the reference of the images in our DB in real world also. Understood this? That's why we are using mount over here, because we are mounting means for example, I've just opened my DB. This is I'm mounting my DB to my VS Code. Mounting means on top of each other. It's nothing but that in English. But we are in here in our example, we are mounting means we are storing the image in slash upload, and slash upload is nothing but the local folder we are storing all the static file, because that image is a static file. It won't change over the time. It is static. Hence the once the image is stored. Okay, if you understood this, it's good. If not, you will get it. Just go through the explanation again and again. Okay, the second one is get dot slash, and here we target as tag as health. This is a health check summary. We have just passing all those parameters, and description is basic liveliness check for the APIs. Means if this API is running, if you want to check your project is running or not, your API is running or not, so this is the API. Hit this API, and if this API works, then everything is working in your project. For example, if you get any error in any of the APIs, so how to check it? Do a health check. And in real world also, all the APIs, all the big companies have this health check API created. Understood? Okay, then we have imported UV because everything FastAPI needs a server, and the server is UV itself, and UV provide the local host server to our FastAPI. So this all data are inside the main.py itself. Okay, now let's start jumping to one-on-one DB middleware, models, routes, schemas, utils, and etc. And for one thing, you will find this underscore init.py in each and every folder or modules. If you see underscore init.py in middleware, in DB, here also inside the app itself, inside util, inside schema, inside routes, and if you see that folder, sorry, that file is completely empty. Each and every underscore init.py is empty. So why this is required, why this is important? First thing first, before starting and jumping on to the other things, we need to know why this init is required in each and every module. So what happened is before way back when Python was new, at that time, to make any folder structure as a proper importable module, we need to create this file. So inside any of the folder, if you create this file and then you have any py file, Python file, then ultimately this folder becomes a module. And then you can do from middleware import error underscore handle.py, from middleware import logging underscore middleware. Understood? With the help of this file, with the help of underscore init underscore.py, this file make this middleware folder into a importable package. It makes it as module or package, and then you can import it in this project anywhere. That's why this underscore init underscore is used. Okay, in older version of Python, but also in newer version we do this because we don't want to break the functionality, although this is now supported in newer version of Python. But I have a habit to do it, and you also make sure to have a habit of do it, because in on job we don't work on the latest version of Python, because the latest version of any software is not a stable version. It is in beta version. Beta version is never a stable version. Okay, so this was one of the thing why each and every folder has this, and this is important. Okay, up till now any doubt you can comment, or else any doubt regarding anything you can ask me in the live chat, not just about this live. If you have any doubt regarding anything, any project, anything going on in your college or in your life, you can share here, but regarding software engineering, of course. Okay, let's start with database, and I've already explained you this file. Database only has MongoDB py, and I think I've already maximized this. So, and it has all the, I've already have commented and written why this file is required, what this file holds, and why I've created this. So once you get this project, you can go through those comment also. And logging, and this variable I've created as logger and get logs, workspace.database. So logging, now I've explained you what is logging and why we are logging it. If something went wrong, we need to log it, and we are logging here in our terminal itself, if you see. So this info, all green info is, we are the one who is logging this. Okay, so I'm not going through the logging and this things. And client, like we use MongoDB client to connect with MongoDB. So this all we already know. And the server selection timeout is in within 5,000. This is milliseconds, means nothing but 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds it should connect to the MongoDB. If not, it will retry it again, and if it fails, it will fail with an error. Okay, why it is not just connecting with the MongoDB. Here a database, and I am saying client setting dot mongo underscore db underscore name. Now where is this name? Where is our MongoDB name stores? So let's check our env dot example. This is where we directly don't store all the crucial data inside our Mongo file. In real world, we have .env file. Inside env, that is nothing but environment variable. So this is our MongoDB's environment, of course, for our Python code. So we store all this in a variable name, and that variable is inside our environment variable. So here, if you see on line number 5, I have my MongoDB name, which is nothing but workspace underscore db. Of course, I have also have a MongoDB URI, which is this, and it will be same for you also. Okay, so this two things I'm storing here in env. And also for the upload, I've already explained, we are storing here. So let's go on to the MongoDB, and here we already sorry, we have already created user correction, and the database, here we already passed the database. Inside that database means workspace db, we have user, we have already created user, and we have already created employee. So let me open the db itself and show you. So this is my db workspace underscore db, which I've already shown you in .env, and I've already created user and employees. Exactly word to word, letter to letter, it should be same, or else it will generate an error for you. So this is letter to letter, word to word, same. Okay, people do this usually, they code it here first, they will write users here, and then they jump onto the MongoDB and they create user, s is missing, and then they will sit down debugging the code for hours and hours and hours, and then they got stuck and they get frustrated. So right way to do it, first create your db itself, first create your db, for example workspace underscore db workspace. In your case it can be something else. So create your db, then create the required collection, which is nothing but schema and table, but here in MongoDB it's known as collection. So create your collections, then copy and paste it over here. Just copy the name and paste it over here. So in this way you will never make a mistake. Hope you got this tip of the day. After this, can you teach how to connect Python backend to JS frontend project? Of course. Full stack, I love doing full stack project because from years I am a full stack cloud engineer, so I do that. But my thing is, the hardest part in full stack is backend only. If you understand backend and everything, full stack is nothing but to acquire the APIs, how to utilize the APIs. That's it. If you know how to create the API, you can utilize it very well using React. And React and Angular, they are nothing but is the beautification of the website. They are just that simple. It's just a beautification, and it's a beautification of your APIs. There is a 10 API in backend. They are utilizing that 10 API and they are creating a UI, user interface, for user to connect with and use those API. For an example, this is live example, just understand this. You as a backend developer know how to deal with API. That means dealing with API simply means how to utilize or use. We have several tools. We use Postman, we can use Swagger. Just now in starting of this live, I've show you how to use from Swagger. Of course, as a software engineer, we know how to use it, but an end user, like a person who is HR, a person who is working in a bank, a person, for example us, who's using WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram, do you use UI of Instagram or you call an API? Of course we use UI, which is an application, but ultimately that application also has an user interface, UI. So we communicate with APIs only, but with the help of UI. So front end, the definition of front end is nothing but it's a beautification and a package of APIs itself. Understood? So what we are doing it, the chef is making the food, we are plating it so very well and then giving it to the customers. That's what a front-end engineer job is. They consume all the APIs which were created by backend engineers, and they have button in place, the pagination in place, the header in place, the navbar in place, the hero section in place, the footer in place, and then they display this. Okay. But people find React and Angular very difficult. I'm not sure why they find this very hard. It's the simplest and the easiest topic to start. The hardest is JS. To understand the complexity of JS is difficult because JS is very vast. It's not that simple. Okay, so now the definition, def connect to MongoDB. Def is nothing but a function in Python, and I've just already have the command in place. Verify the MongoDB connection and create indexes colon startup. So here we are creating the admin command ping, logging the info that connected to MongoDB, and this is time, and the setting dot Mongo URI means if you are connecting to MongoDB, what was the URL you have connected, so it will store that info also. So like here, if you see this line, first it says waiting for the application, and then what application it was waiting for the MongoDB to run. So here if you say info, and here it connected to MongoDB DB, which is our workspace dot database, and connected to MongoDB at, and this is the MongoDB URI. So this is nothing but coming from here. And if something went off, there is an logger dot error, and we are saying could not connect to MongoDB. So if you want to generate this error, just start your application and don't start your MongoDB itself. It will generate this error. Okay, means raise an exception. It's nothing that rocket science in this code. I like to use the variable name big. That's why you are seeing, okay, this is very big code, this is hard, I won't get it. It's nothing. I just like to use the variable name as an industry standard because I'm working in industry from many years. I'm not using N, X, C, P, num1, num2. This is not an industry standard. So that's why you're finding it difficult and code is so big. See, if in your case you can name it as user, but in my case I'm naming it as user underscore collections. So you will also learn this type of why this is required, why this type of variable names and other things are required. Okay, here I already commented what this will create. This will create a unique index on user email to prevent the duplicate account. Why I'm creating the primary key? If you know SQL, in SQL we have a concept called primary key. What is the primary key? If we assign any of the a table column with primary key, so that key cannot be duplicated, and in SQL it is known as redundancy. So to stop redundancy we use primary key in SQL. So here is the same thing, only I am making it as unique. That primary key in here in MongoDB it's known as unique. Why unique? Because one email should be associated with one employee. It's nothing but like roll number in college, in school, or in university you have roll number or seat numbers. So one seat number or one roll number is associated to only one student or one learner. Okay, I hope you understand this. So same with the employee ID and email I've already explained you. So that's why I've created this many indexes to each and everything we are utilizing in DB. So employee ID should be unique, email should be unique, department. So here if you see I have not had the department as unique. Okay, because today I am working as a backend engineer. I got a promotion and now the requirement is in other team there is a requirement for I to work as a front end developer. So I can I will ask my manager, can I go to there, and I can work. So my department change from backend to front end. If I make it as unique, so that will be difficult to do it. So or else I can work on two products at the same time. I can work as a backend developer in one product, and at the same time I can work as a front end developer in another product in a same company. That's why I have not made this as unique. Okay, same this one, the first name, of course, there can be multiple Nilesh in one organization. There can be multiple Rahul, multiple John, multiple Preeti, Priya, Kajal, okay, multiple Shashank. So that's why it cannot be, name cannot be unique. And same salary also cannot be unique. More than one employee can get same salary, although nobody discuss this in openly in MNCs, but if you are level 1 engineer, you all will have same salary, of course. And joining date. Okay, so why these two are unique and why others are not unique, I have already explained you. Okay, understood this? And next, the closing the MongoDB. So we need to close the client itself, and once the MongoDB is closed, we are logging that information. So and right now my MongoDB is running, so that's why it is not capturing this MongoDB connection close. Hope MongoDB.py you got it. I have explained you the importance part of this and line by line. Okay, let's take few seconds break. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in live chat. Then I will be jumping onto the middleware. And this is easy if you go through my video again and again, word to word, and then try to code it. Once I share this all this code with you, understand this code, understand word to word, line by line, and spend few time over it. First try to replicate this project by seeing and typing and doing the same project once or twice, and then try to upgrade that particular project. When you are trying, just change it to the food management system or something else, like inventory management system. Okay, update the API's name, update the things, update the criteria. That is how you will learn this complete project. Okay, if not, if there is no doubt, let's jump onto the middleware. And before jumping onto the middleware, I want to talk about the auth.py and nothing but password.py, because first thing first, we are storing the user password, and first thing is we are registering the user, then we are logging it, and while time of logging we are creating and generating the bearer token. That bearer token is used on each and every API we are calling. So let's understand the utils first. And if you see the architecture, so it was the routes, and after the route it was the util itself. So we will be jumping onto the route, but let's understand the util thing first. Okay, so let me, okay, let's go through auth.py itself first, and then we will be seeing password.py. Password.py is very easy. Let me just quickly wind this off. It's nothing but we are saving the password using bcrypt. Bcrypt, I already explained you what is bcrypt is. It is a library and it used for hashing the password. So this is the code for two of it. And let me first show you how the password is stored. So let me open the db user, and here if you see, it says hash password, and this is the password for ls admin. Okay. Now how this password is being hashed is with the help of bcrypt. Here we are getting the password as a plain text as string. It can be alphanumeric, at the rate, special characters can be there, so it is a plain password for us. So here I've added a comment, hash a plain password using bcrypt and return it as a string. Of course, what is a salt? I've already explained you in my previous live what is salt, so I'm not going inside it again, because now it will be now this live and that live doesn't have any differences then, and of course this live will be too big. So salt is a technique, I've already explained you that, and it is a bcrypt technique, and there is a round, I've already explained you. If there is a 10 round, so it will be 2 raised to 10. Here is 12, so it will be 2 raised to 12. Means that level of hashing loop will run 2 raised to 12 times. Okay. And then hashed, we create a hash in encoded hash encoded utf. This all I've explained you. And what is this? Nothing but this hashed encoded is nothing but just now I have showed you. Let me open this is the encoded one. This is the encoded thing. Okay. And that 12 is 2 raised to 12. Whatever the answer is, 2 raised to 12. Just comment down what is 2 raised to 12 answer. And about backend, you said JS is very powerful. Can you name some application of JS other than web and about backend contracts? Okay, let me sum it up for you. Are you asking the JS for backend? If that's so, Next.js is powerful, Node.js, Express.js is powerful. These three are very powerful using JS. And of course, if you go through my very old videos which I have done in Hindi, I have already used custom JS, created my own things using JS. So again, Node.js, Next.js, Express.js, Vanilla.js, and nothing but React and Angular. This all are built on JS itself. That's why JS is very powerful. If you know JS inside out, then you can create your own React. I've already told this in many lives. You can create your own React. You can create your own Angular. You can create your own Node.js. They are all based on JS itself. And why it make JS very powerful? Because JS is the only technology out there which can create a backend, which can create a front end, which can create a complete ecosystem. JS itself. Okay. See, Python, we create Python, but can we create a front end with help of Python? No, we can't. We required HTML, CSS, and JS. If you know Java, many I've met so many people, they says Java is so powerful. Java, with the help of Java, you can create backend application only. Can you create web application without other libraries, without using Tomcat, without using other things, without using servers? No, you can't. That's why JS is powerful, because it is a complete ecosystem. Everything is based on JS itself. That's why it is coming in trend now to be a full stack JS developer. What is full stack JS developer? You know React, you know Node.js, you know Next.js. So that's all in JS itself. Okay. Yeah, coming back to this, I've already shown you how this bcrypt hash password plain text get converted into encoded UTF, and also the salt. What is salt? Salt is nothing but it is a technique that converts your plain password into an hashing thing with a loop. For example, I'm painting one white paper. I've just painted with one stroke. I've just have black ink in my brush and I've hit one stroke. that is 1. I've hit second stroke, that is 2. I've hit 12 stroke. So imagine what will be 2 raised to 12 strokes. That's how the salt is used to hash our password that many times. For example, if hacker want to guess our password, then he need to guess it in a right way first, and then he need to perform 2 raised to 12 times the decoding of our password. If he knows that I have rounded this with the help of 12 rounds, means 2 raised to, this is 2 raised to 12, this is not simply 12, this is 2 raised to 12. Okay, so that's why bcrypt is very powerful, because it is not possible to first of all know how many rounds the application in real world is using. Although if he knows the round, he will never know the encoding and other things. Okay, and here verify password, why I have created it, because once your application should know that user is trying to log in. For example, I have a user name as demo user, and the password is 123456, but I'm passing it as 123456. It has stored in my DB as a hash password. Now my application should verify the user. As a user, I will pass demo and 123456. That 123456 will never match my hashed password. So ultimately my application will say, okay, no, 123456 is not matching with this, so you are a wrong user, your password is incorrect. But we need to have one verify password for our application, that 123456, and it should be hashing with the same technique again and matching that hash value with the value stored in our DB, and then allow the user to access. Understood? That's why this uh, verify password is there. Okay, this was the easiest file, which has very bare minimum code with 2 functions. Let's jump onto the auth.py. Okay, here we are creating the tokens. Okay, but directly jumping onto the tokens, first let understand the create access token, decode access token, and get current user, and there is much more. Required roles, that's it. So required role is nothing but RBAC, RBAC. So let's start with create access token. So while time of logging, we generate an access token. Okay, so and with an expiry, because if you don't provide an expiry for the token, your account can be compromised. So if you log in into some account and you don't perform anything for a few minutes, it will by default log out you, and then it will ask you again to log in. That is because the token associated with your user has been expired. That's why you have been automatically logged out. And then once you log in again, in behind the scene, the new token associate with your user, and it passed to the server itself. Okay, that is how it happens. That is why sometimes you get automatically logged out because of the token, JWT token, bearer token. Okay, understood this? Here I have added the comment, create a signed JWT access token containing the user identity and role. Of course, a token should contain your identity. For example, subject, which is nothing but the MongoDB ID, and your email, your role, and expiry. And this is the time. This is nothing but the time. Here you can see the expiry time, and in our case this is again coming from the environment variable. So if I go to the environment variable, you can see here you can see the access token expiry, which I have set to 60 minutes. This is the variable I'm using inside the auth.py, because that 60 also I don't want to pass it here, because this is also a crucial information. If someone knows about that this user logs in into the system, and they know that your token expiry is of 60 minutes, then for 1 hour they will try to hack or guess your password. Okay, so that's why this is also need to pass into environment. Every crucial information should be passed in environment file. Okay, so this is the payload of JWT token. Means once you get the token, and if you use this website, let me open that website. This I've already demonstrated in the previous live, so make sure you go through it. This is the website, and see we already have the data here. So this is the bearer token, and it consists of sub. This is the sub ID, the name of the person, and is it admin or not, so true, and ist. So this is the by default data of this website, not our bearer token. If it was our bearer token, the data was something like this. So we have sub, this is subject in a string format, and email and role, admin, HR or employee, and the expiry time of the token. Okay, and we are returning the JWT encoded token. I've already shown you that the token will be an alphanumeric value in, let me open it again. This is the alphanumeric value and this is the token. Okay, so that code will generate this. Now of course we need to have decode the access token. If our application should also know about the this token is associated with this user, so we need to verify that token, and then we need to perform the other activities for that particular user. But if we don't have the decoder in place, how our application will know that this token is associated with that particular user? Okay, so here I've already just commented that decode and validate the JWT access token, raise exception on failure. So on failure means someone get your password and ID. If someone's get your ID and password, your Gmail ID and password, then too they won't be able to access our application, because our application is much more secure based on JWT token, bearer token. So they need to pass the bearer token. If they only get the bearer token, not your ID and password, then also they won't be able to get access. So in our case, if they get your ID and password and they try to access, they will get 401 unauthorized, and that's what I got when I was trying to access this employee ID, get the details of this particular employee, but I haven't passed the bearer token, so that's why it says unauthorized. I am not authorized to get the details of the employee. This is how to make our application secure. And how to pass it? In headers it should say www authenticate and the bearer token. So already I have shown you in the Postman. Let me open the Postman. Here in Postman, if I click on here in authorization, you see the auth type is bearer token and we are passing the bearer token. So if you are not getting it right away, make sure you see the hash 10 Python my previous live. In that I have demonstrated all this. Okay, expiration, expired token. So it should also check the token, and it says again, it should says unauthorized, means the 60 minutes have been passed and I'm still using that token. So it should say access token has expired, please log in again. So let me quickly demonstrate this. Let me demonstrate this on get call. I've passed this token on Wednesday live. I have not generated the new token. Let me hit on send and say success false. The message is access token has expired, please log in again. So once we log in again, the new token will be generated. Then we need to pass that new token over here, and then we can perform all those activities. Understood? So this is the code responsible to check all this. Okay, and then ultimately here we are trying to decode the token and JWT secret key. Now this is the secret key responsible to identify, because this is a two-way handshake. We are passing our token and our server also has it JWT secret key. So that secret key and our token should match. Once that matched, then only you are authenticated and authorized to log in and use any of the functions in our applications. Okay, so this is also stored in env, and this is my JWT secret key. Why I'm laughing is never make this type of secret key. This is a simple key for you to understand. I've created. Change this to a long random secret key. Means it should be very long. It should be alphanumerical with the, also add the special characters like @ hash dollar, anything to it. Okay, so make sure this is the most important thing. If hacker get this, they can hack any application in real world. Okay, so they should never get hands on JWT secret key. And also let me show you the example here. Like this is the bearer token generated from user from the front end side. The algorithm is HS256. With the help of this algorithm, the type is JWT, we have generated this token, and this bearer token has this data. But if I change this secret, this is the secret from server side. If I change this, it says enter a secret to verify the JWT signature and invalid signature. Although hacker get this easily, they can get the token, but they won't be able to access the application because they don't have this secret. And this secret is from server side, means application side, means those who have created those application have that secret key. So if I pass this secret key, now it says a valid secret and signature verified. Once the signature is verified, means hacker is into your system has been compromised. So make sure you never expose this secret. Okay, you never expose this secret, and of course this should be inside the .env file. Okay, hope you understand this up till now. And again, this all are the exceptions I have created. If you see HTTP exceptions, and I've already explained this in exceptional handling live, so I've created those exceptions, and here is the name of the exceptions, credential underscore exceptions, and what needs to be done inside that. So I'm just if I'm trying to perform this, if this is the case, return the payload. If not, raise an exception. An exception is nothing but your token has been expired, or there is an JWT error, which is nothing but this could not be validated. Okay, these two are exceptions which were created by us as a backend developer. This is how we handle all the scenario of JWT. Up till now, if it is clear, let me jump onto the get current user again. The token, and it depends on auth2 schemas, and here I've just have a explanation in a string. And if token is none, raise exception, missing token. Of course, token is much more important if we are dealing with JWT. And the payload, decode the access token, of course, and payload dot get sub is nothing but the user ID. And if user ID is none itself, so again says 401 unauthorized, because if those who are logging in, they should know their employee ID or user ID. You know your roll number, it's the same thing. You know your seat number, is the same thing. Again, here it's all the scenario I've created regarding the user model, means user trying to get a few data from the DB itself. Okay, but that connection is not directly, it's through multiple layers. And if your token exists, for example, if your token exists, still also this is an edge case scenario. If you have your JWT token, but from DB the user has been deleted, so it should also be a scenario, edge case scenario. We need to handle this user associated with this token no longer exists, means token is valid, token is there, token is valid, but user has deleted from the DB itself. So then also we need to say unauthorized. Each and every time we need to say unauthorized, or else hacker can get any user token and try to access our system. Okay, I hope up till now it is going smoothly, going well, you're getting it, and it is not getting over your head. That's why I've I just slower my pitch. Okay, the last but not the least is required roles. And we have created roles, because in real world we also work in roles. There will be a manager, there will be a director, there will be a VP, there will be an employee like a software engineer, senior software engineer, lead engineers, and in other departments HR, admin. So in our case it's HR, admin, and employees. So this is a role checker. Why we need this role checker? Because I don't want employees can do anything, HR can do anything, admin can do anything. So it is under control thing that is known as a back role based access system. So admin can do anything, HR can do anything except deleting employees, and an employee can't do anything. Employee can only see their data. They can see their salary slip, they can see their salary, they can see when they have joined, their joining date, comments or feedback from their manager. They can only see their particular things. This is the power I've given to that particular role. Power means all the access. So limited access to employees, they can check their own. HR can check each and every employee's data. So HR department works like that only. So any HR can see employees, can update the employees detail, can create employee new employees, okay, but can't delete it. HR don't have power to delete any employees from DB. So that is the limitation for the HR itself. And the third is the admin. They have each and every access, they can delete from DB also. But mind it, in my previous life I've also told this, and I'm repeating myself, in real world they do not delete your data. They have a flag, like they say is active is a flag. They will make it true if you're using their application, utilizing their application. If you are inactive for more than 6 months, your data will be there in DB. They will just update that flag from true to false. Your data will be there. For example, if you once sign in or you provide any your detail on the internet, your data will never be deleted. It will be there. So this code is for that only, to check which role can access what thing. And if they are trying to access those things which they have not permitted to, then raise an exception saying this particular role, means role employee is not permitted to perform this action, role HR is not permitted to perform this action. Okay, and this is a simplest thing to do it. I hope you got this role checker. What is this all about? So I'm done with util. Let's jump onto the middleware. Still we have middleware modules, route and schema. So it's a long way to go. Let me. If you all are getting this, can I speed this up? So just give me a thumbs up, so I will speeding this up, because now we are jumping onto the middleware and error handling. Error handling is nothing but I'm dealing with all types of error and exceptions, and this is there is nothing new to it. I've already just covered this all in my live, where I was teaching with the file handling and error handling. It's just the namings and everything is being complicated. Once you understand this will not be that complicated for you all. So give me a thumbs up if you want me to speed up. I can speed up and go a bit faster, or else if this is the pace is right for you all, so just type right. Okay, okay, I can see right in the comment. So I will maintain my pace and I will be going with this speed. I will be not speeding up. Okay, no worries. Let me start with error handling then itself, and again everything we need to log it, and we are logging as an workspace.error. The workspace is nothing but our project name. So everything we are logging is should be with associated with the project name itself. So let me on a high level show you how many functions we have. So we have first function, register, exception handler. This all are exception handling, because this file is nothing but error handling itself. So you will find all the exceptions and error handling inside this. Okay, the first one is register exception handler, and inside this if a user try to register him or herself. So what type of exceptions and edge case we are handling here, that is the code all about, this function is all about. Okay, so we have only one function. Inside it we have created and handle all the exceptions, all type of exception. It can be the validation issue, it can be some data passing issue in JSON format, it can be MongoDB issues. Okay, so every type of exceptions we are handled here. And why this file is important, so this thing should be, first thing should come in the mind. Like in API, in when I was teaching fast API, we have handled the exceptions there only, we have handled the edge case there only. So if we have thousands of APIs, so we need to handle thousands of exceptions there only in creating the API code. At the decorator @app is the and /route/student, these are the APIs we created, and there only we need to handle all this. So better we just summarize the main exceptions, and we just have this all in one place. And after this, once we start creating the API, I can directly call register exceptional handle method, and with the help of this method, if I want exception handle this one, validation one, I can call this, or if I want HTTP exception handling, I can call this on those API which is required, where I need to require the exceptions. So all the exceptions is under this file, and from here we can call on our required APIs. Hope why this is the why this file is created and it is important, you understood. Okay, so let's start with let's start with the easiest one, and then we will move on to the toughest one. Here is exception handle, and we are raising an exception. This is simply the Python syntax. And asynchronous, of course, I've already explained you what is asynchronous means when we are dealing with the fast API and handling the exceptions. So unhandled exception handler, what is the name over here is, I'm just naming it in difficult way, you can name it in more easy or convenient way for yourself. Unhandled exception handler, so this is an handler, and what type of exceptions it is handling? Unhandled one. Understood why I have named this? Okay, so request, of course, from browser or from user or from client or from postman or from Swagger, we made a request. Either it can be in post form, get or update, put call, delete call, but all those APIs are nothing but request only. And exceptions, there is a 2 parameter to it, and we need to log it, so we are logging it as naming as unhandled exceptions, and of course with the time. Here in JSON response, the status code is important, and the status code is 500 internal server issue, and the content, the body of that error should be success, always should be false. If it is exception, it is an error. And message an unexpected error occurred, and detail none. Why we are doing this is majority time if you see 500 internal issue, so it's nothing but internal server issue is something went wrong with your code, something went wrong with your deployed server, something went wrong with your DB itself. But for DB we handle it separately. This is only limited to the server and your code. If something went wrong inside your server, something went wrong with your code, so this exception will be raised. Understood? So again, the above one is for DB itself. If you see here, I'm naming it as pymongo underscore error handler. So this error handler is handling nothing but pymongo, means the connectivity with our server, our Python code with the MongoDB itself. And again, it's the same thing, request, and here exe, it's nothing but pymongo error, and here we are logging it as exception, because this is an exception. Something went wrong in our code is an exception, but this is an proper error. If it is connection issue with the DB, it is proper error. If DB is not there, DB is not running, connection issue with the DB, it's a proper error itself. So we need to identify what is error and what is exception. We can't say exception is an error. Okay, because might there will be a scenario for two APIs, this for internal server issue is coming up, and might there will be scenario for other it is working fine, your server is working fine for other APIs, but for two APIs it is like internal server issue. And when it comes, for example, our API required three things. First was your name, second was your employee ID, and third was your salary. This example, and you are not passing your employee ID or your salary, you're just passing your name and hitting the API. At that is time the scenario, the server can say that internal server error, bad server error, something went wrong, that your front end is or from Postman you are not passing all the required payload body. So that time this type of error comes. Okay, so now coming to the DB error, it's simply success will always be false and messages database error occurred, please try again. So something should be sensible should be shown to the response. So that is we are saying that it is a database error. Why we separate database error from this? Because we should know 500 internal server issue is our error code, and here is DB error. So we can, as a backend engineer, directly go to the DB itself and check what is the issue with the DB or the connectivity. Majority time it's not the issue with the DB, it's the issue with the connection between DB and our code. Okay, that is what I am handling in this exception. And here we are excepting the handler key duplicate. So we can't create two data with the same key. Again, the primary key concept, you can't have the same seat number, can't have the roll number same for more than one person. Of course, only one individual can have that roll number or seat number. So this is we are this is an of course an exception, and we are handling over here is, and we are saying the status code is 409, which is conflict, and it says a record with this unique field already exists. Means someone is trying to create a new employee in this example with the same records, with the same email, with the same name, with the same ID. So this will this exception should trigger and say 400, because each and every API should return a status code. So 400 is the status code for conflict, and this is the body. So this type of exception we are handling there. And here is the another one, and this is 422 unprocessable entity validation failed for more than one field. So we have created few validation for the fields. For example, like in salary, number is required, but in salary you are passing your name. So that time that is unprocessable entity, and in message it says validation failed for more than one field. For example, it can be failed for one field, or you are passing the wrong data for more than one field. So that time this exception will raise, and we are handling in this way. Okay, why we are handling in this way? If you don't handle the exception, it will just generally 404 bad request. The API will say bad request, bad request, bad request, and bad request doesn't make any sense, because I am not passing the data appropriately. So it is 422 unprocessable entity validation field. Understood? So it is 409, it should say a record with the unique field already exists. So we are that's why we are handling the exception with a proper status code and proper message. Those who are using our API should get the correct thing from the logs itself. Understood? And now here this is the this is the validation exception handle, nothing but the complete validation of our body, and this is the structure of it. Let me open the first thing I've showed you here, like employees, and let's get the get one. And here if you see, this is 401, this type of a response body will come. That's what I was explaining you. And if you see, if there is an error, this is the error body. It will say detail, loc, string, 0, and message type, input. So this are the parameters where we made a mistake. So if we are making a mistake on email, the type will change to email. We are making a mistake to email. Okay, I will show you. I will generate an error and I will show you this once we jump onto the Postman. So that's what we have created here: log and error and body and message, everything. Okay. Okay, now we have come to the last exception, which is HTTP exception handler. So this handler is responsible to handle the exceptions with regarding to HTTP. So what all, there are many HTTP exceptions. So if you all know this, can you name what are the HTTP exceptions? If you know, yes. If you know, just say no. I don't know. Meantime, let me open the live chat too. Okay, I waited for a few seconds. I think you all don't know about this. So it's very simple. HTTP exception handler is nothing but 404 or 500. So if something went wrong while your API triggered, for example, if you triggered the API from your side, Postman, your Postman misbehaves, your, if it is a live API, your internet went off and that request didn't complete. So this exception will ultimately raise 404 or 500 depending on the use case of the API. Okay, so this in this way we are handling 404 bad request or resource not found, page not found, and whatever 404. Okay, 500 server issues. I hope you got this. This is regarding to the routing of the APIs. Might sometimes the, yes, sometimes it doesn't go to the server. The API doesn't go to the server due to our internet speed, because all the APIs has a time limit. For example, I've set my APIs to if someone trigger my API, it should reach to my server within 300 milliseconds. If that 300 milliseconds, if it will be 301 milliseconds, that API triggered from my Postman will never reach to my server, and it will say 404 or some generic error it will generate. And why that will happen? Because of my internet speed. My internet doesn't have that much MB to load the content of the APIs. So sometimes you are binge watching the Netflix or any of the series or Geo Hotstar or something else. So Disney, this type of things happen. The packet can lost in the APIs, or the API will never reach the Netflix server, and in between you will get the 404 or something else, and then you need to reload the entire web page. Or if you're seeing from your mobile, you need to close the application and relaunch the application again. Okay, I hope this error handling file you understood very well. Let's jump onto the logging to middleware, and it's very basic and simple code. Here we are having all the things how we are logging it. So this is the thing I was explaining to you all again and again, this info part. So it is coming from this file, logging middleware. So again, in each and every file I have one line of explanation: log methods passed. So what it's logging, it's logging the log methods. What are the methods? Get call, post call, put call, delete call. So let me maximize my terminal. Okay, this is my method get. Understood. Path, what is the path? Okay, let me have one good example over here. Yeah, here is the path. Okay, status code is 200, 404 not found, 401 unauthorized. This is status code. And processing time for every request. So this is the processing date and time. I've just mentioned time over there, but time in programming world known as date and time. So this is a date and time. If you see, it's 17/7/2026 and the time is this. Okay, so this is the way we are logging, and this is the function who is responsible for logging everything asynchronous, because we are working with fast API, and we need to have asynchronous because majority of time our API can be waiting for one of the resources or many of the resources, and I don't want my API to fail. That's why I'm using asynchronous. And dispatch is nothing but the function name I've given. And here if you see start time, the start time should count when the API triggered. So here if you see, this is the start time of my API, and then response await call next. So it waited for the response. After the response came, how many milliseconds it took to get those response. Either it can be get, post, put, delete, any call. This is valid for each and every call. And logger.info should have this type of method. So time request method. So here if you see date and time, and the request method is nothing but get URL path. So slash openapi slash json http 101. If I hit this from the postman, I will get a postman URL path, and response status code 404 and duration in milliseconds. So here if you see in bracket, let me maximize this is a milliseconds, 9.21 milliseconds it took to generate 404 in 0.63 milliseconds. Okay, so this is how it generates this log below. This file, this function is responsible for that. Okay, let me close this, and let's jump to routes. Let me see which one is smaller. Okay, this is 200 lines of code. User.module is smaller, I think. This is smaller because we have less thing in user modules. And routes I do more than 200. And odd.py is 83. Okay, and schemas, I think schema won't be that much big. User schema also won't be that much big. So let's start with schema itself only. Let's start with smaller things. I don't want to complicate jumping into the big things. Okay. So first thing first, we create user, and then with the help of that user bearer token, we create our employees, and we perform many things. Okay, so this file user underscore schema.py is responsible for creating the user role. So I have a class user role, and it says string and enum. Here allowed user roles within the system. We create 3 users. First user is admin, second is HR. These are the roles of the user, and third one is employee. And here we have a class user registration, base model, everything I've already explained in my FastAPI live, so go through it. And here I'm creating the basic structure of my API and how this will be stored in the DB itself. And this field is nothing but pydentic. What is pydentic? Here if you see, I've used the pydentic. Pydentic is nothing but creating our own custom validation over the API's body. Okay, so this is the body. While time of creating the user with the help of post call, we required to provide the name, email, password, and role. And this is the field, and field is the validation. So the minimum length of the name should be 2, means A or B, X or Y, or maximum it can be goes to 100. So in real world, maybe someone names can be that big, 100 characters, 100 letters, and the least it can have 2 letters. Below 2 it won't allow to create. And here if you see, full name of the user is the description of this particular attribute fields. And then same for email. Here if you see, unique email address used as login user is the description. If you see, I have used the email str field, and the password is another string, and the role is the user role, which is coming from this class, and out of this three we can assign any one of the user while time of creating the new user, means registering the new user. Understood? And all this employee, I've called it from, I've already explained you this where it is coming from. And description, role assigned to the user. So the default user, by default, if you don't provide the role to any user, it will be employee. I have coded this in this way. You can code it in, by default every user will be admin, by default every user can HR, but in my case each and every user is employee in that organization. Either it can be manager, it can be director, it can be VP, it can be HR, it can be admin or software engineer like us, but they all are employees to that organization. That's why the default role I have set is to employee. After it you can change or update it, or while time of providing the roles you can give whatever role you want to give to that particular individual. The model.config is nothing but an example how we need to set and pass the roles. So let me open this. Is it in let me open this quickly. Authentication, and we are talking about register. Okay, so we are talking about this register a new user. We are talking about this API, and that schema I am explaining you is all about this. We are passing the email, the name and the password, and of course the role. So in this example we are passing as HR. If you don't pass the role, it will by default make this Jane to employee. Okay, and this is an example, JSON schema. It's nothing but if you remove this code also, your complete project will work fine. Config and it is nothing but it will convert this JSON into a Python dictionary, and this is an example code we can say we have here. If you remove this also, this file won't have any effect. Your code will be running as it is. Okay, it just makes sure that this is the behavior of your this is an example of behavior of this model. So we have created this base model. This is our base model over here, and this will be the behavior of this base model from here up till here. This is just an example. Okay, now user login. When user try to log in, so user provide two things, their email and their password, of course. So registered email address and account password, and here is the again example of it. Third is also user response, public representation of a user, safe to return in API. So why we are doing this? When you create a new user, you should get a response of that user with an ID, and this is MongoDB generated ID, which is known as object ID there. Okay, and rest the name and email and role and the created at date and time. So this is the example. JNNHR, and this is the date, and it is returning within MongoDB ID. This is an example. If you create any user, you will get a response in Postman. You pass this three and you will get extra date and time and ID. Understood? This is the user schema. We are creating the user. So in user schema we have two things only. First thing first, which is nothing but register the user and logging the user. The next two things is for the token. So access token, token type bearer, and the expiry in 60 minutes. We have already seen this again and again. And the token payload. So once someone's tried to use the payload JWT token, decode it. I've shown you on the website also. So it will show the sub, which is nothing but the ID of ID associated with that user, which was generated with the help of MongoDB, and the email and the role and the expiry date and time. That's what I've already shown you here. This is an example, okay, in this website. So this all is the schema structure. This is how in DB this all thing will be stored regarding to user only, because this file is associated for user. So in DB this is an example how this all will be stored. And if you want, I can open the DB and I can show you. This is the exact way user detail has been stored. So let me this is the thing. And if you see the DB, ID, name, email, role uncreated, ID, name, email, password is hashed, role uncreated, okay, because we never return password in Postman. You register the user, but you never return their stored password to Postman. Okay, I hope you understand this. Let's jump on to the employee schema. And here we have one thing. This is the thing, because while time of creating the employee, we are asking their phone numbers, and while time of asking their phone numbers, we have certain criteria that number should be from between 0 to 9, and the length of the number should be it can be 7 to 15 digit. Okay, this is an international format. In India we have 10 digit numbers only. So how we have this in place? This is the proper code, you can say, or syntax, you can say. So in this box bracket, I'm saying number can be anything between 0 to 9, and here I'm saying minimum length is 7 and maximum length of the number is 15, and this dollar and everything is required for the syntax to work. So I'm storing this inside this phone regjenc. So we will be using this variable when we will be asking the phone number from the employee. Okay, let's jump onto the same thing again. We are asking a few data while time of creating the employee: the first name, last name, email, phone, department, which role we are hiring that, and salary. Of course it should be in float, because salary can be 100.5 rupees or 1000 dot 50 cents, $1000.50. So that's why it should be in float, and joining date, of course. This is a field validator. A field validator is nothing but, I've already explained this you in the FastAPI part, but again I'm explaining you. If I want to have a special type of validation over a particular field from above, or an attribute, or so we need to pass those inside the parenthesis in this function, which is nothing but @field validator, and after that we can have our own validation over here. So here I'm saying is, if not that variable match value, means this condition, if I'm passing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and that follows this proper structure, if that follows proper structure, then return a value. If it doesn't follow, if not, means if it doesn't follow, raise a value error saying that phone must contain 7 to 15 digits, optionally prefixed plus. So we have added a plus sign as prefix, +91 in India, and in other countries +15 or whatsoever. So we have added plus sign as a prefix, but your number should be between 7 to 15. Okay, and this is an example of the above model, and the above model name is nothing but create employee. Okay, this is an example. We need to pass the name and last name, the email and the phone number in this format, the department, and we are hiring a backend developer, the salary and the joining date. Okay, this is the model example of the model. We need to pass the payload body in a post call in Postman in this way. Okay, the next is employee update, and this is also important. Why we have optional each and everywhere? Because we can update the name of that employee it's not necessary we need to update everything. That's why we have optional over here. We can update one thing at one time only. So we can update the name, we can update the last name, we can update these three at same time also, but we don't need to touch or pass anything over here. That's why this optional is required. Okay, and of course the minimum length should be 1 and the maximum is 50. I've already explained you this. Okay, and if not passed, the email will be none, the phone number will be none, the department will be none. All the none you are seeing, if we didn't pass any data, they will be stored as none in DB. Okay, and again we have while time of update employee also, we have the same special validation on phone. And this is the example that I'm only updating the person from backend developer to CN backend, and I'm increasing the salary from $95,000 to $110,000. Okay, so only two can be updated, not necessary we don't need to pass everything. Okay, now the next thing is employee response. So this is what the API will return. Once you create the employee, it will return the employee with the ID, employee ID. This ID is the object ID created by MongoDB. Employee ID is the ID we are generating from the code. For example, EMP0001 are the first employee. The first name, last name, and email, phone, department, salary, joining date is all passed from the HR or admin who is creating the employee data. They all pass this. And profile image, if the employee is passing the profile image, or else this is optional. And the initial value of it, if they are not passing his or her image, it should be none. Okay, and we are adding is boolean active or false, means that employee is currently working in the organization. If yes, the value should be true, if not, the value should be false. And created and updated date means when the employee ID and everything data was created in DB, and if we have touched and updated or altered the data of employment, for example, we have increased the salary or change it from backend to senior backend, then the updated date. Okay, the example is over here. Understood? Okay, let's jump onto the pagination employee response. So this is in a previous live I've showed you why the pagination and everything is important, and this is also important in terms of the front end part. So in a particular website, a page, there should be a limited number of employees can be shown, so that is also being controlled with the help of API. So total number of matching employees and the page, do we have 1 page, 2 page, 5 10 page, 100 page? That is this is how in schema it is being stored, the limit. If we are trying to search for only 5 employees and total page we have, means if we have thousands of employee, that thousands and employee data are stored in 300 pages. An item is nothing but the list of entire employees. So it will return 1, or if we have 10 employees, so it will return 10 employees in list format. Inside it, of course, it will be a dictionary, because JSON is nothing but dictionary in Python. Understood up till now? Employee schema.py. If this is done, now let's jump onto models and route, because these two are two huge files to explain. And before this, let me take a 5 minutes break, and then I will be jumping on to this 4 files, and then we are done. And regarding this, if you have any doubt, anytime you can ping me on Discord. I will share you this project, each and every file, source code, readme, go through it, spend time with this project, because this project has a huge weightage, because this is a real base MNC level project. If you after learning this, if you create your own project with the help of this and add this in your resume will have that edge, that weightage. Okay, so let's take a 5 minutes break. It's 10 now. I will be back at 10:05. Okay, we are back. It's 10:05. So 5 minutes break was too short, I think, for you or also for me also. Uh, and I can understand from constantly just sitting and hearing me from last 2 hours, and I'm constantly speaking from past 2 hours. So for you also, it's tiring. But yeah, that's the learning time and efforts we need to invest. So our future will be bright. Okay, so let's start with models, and only 4 files are remaining. So be motivated that in this entire project we have only 4 files. Okay, let's start with the user model, and these are the models. These are the actual files now, actual logic, why everything coming into the place, and how it is stored as a document in the MongoDB. And now these are all the files, and of course the routers also. They 4 files are responsible to now bring everything together: the middleware, the database, the error handling, and the schemas I was talking about up till now. And now here everything comes into the picture, comes into the place. So first thing first, here I have created a serialized user. It's nothing but to convert a MongoDB user document into a JSON dictionary. So this is how it is done. ID, and it's says string user doc ID, name user doc name. So this is a only conversion. We are converting a MongoDB user document into a JSON, because MongoDB document and JSON are two separate things. Web, Postman, or Swagger, they all deal with JSON, and MongoDB deals with documents. That's why this conversion is needed. So before sending anything to the Postman or your Swagger or your browser, we need to do this conversion, and this conversion is nothing but serialize underscore user. We are doing it here in this function. Okay, let's jump onto the create user. Here we are creating the user, and the thing is required to create the user. All the parameters required are: name is required, email is required, hashed password is required, and role is required. Okay, and here I've added the comment for you all to understand. Is nothing but insert a new user document. Raise means we are handling an exception if duplicate key is error, if email exists. So duplicate key error means we are trying to create a user with the same email ID. That's what the duplication, we have exceptions in the place. Okay, so the document is name and the email. So might people can enter their first letter capital, or in middle something capital, or at the rate if they are using Gmail, G capital. So we are the one backend engineer. Before storing to the DB, we need to lowercase each and everything. So that's why I'm using dot lower here. Hash password. So this is a password, and how this hash password is coming, we have already seen in the util files. In the password, we are hashing it with the help of the bcrypt and that salt method, that 2 to 12 I've already explained you. So from there it is coming hashed only, and it is storing as hash password in the DB. That's why in DB you can see hashed password, and name, email, and role, and this all stuffs. This is coming from this file user model. Okay, and created at the date time. This is in Python inbuilt function dot now time zone dot UTC. So UTC is a standard time zone across the world, and now means the time when the user is being created. Okay, so this is what we are this is how we are saving into the DB, and we are doing an exceptional handling over here. Is result equals to user dot collection dot insert one. This is the MongoDB code now. Okay, insert one is the MongoDB and the document. So this is the document, this is a complete document. The document hold this all data. We are passing it, and we are seeing insert one at a time. Where to insert? In user collections, because this is, we are talking about the creating the user. So in inside user collection, we are inserting one document, and everything we are storing inside this result. Understood up till now? But if there's something went wrong, means exceptional. So this is the exception we have raised. Is duplicate key is nothing but we are trying to create two users with the same email, which is not possible because we have set the email as unique key. Okay, so we are saying the raise the exception, or else document ID underscore ID is the MongoDB one. That's how MongoDB treats an object ID. So we are saying that result dot insert ID, because this all data we are taking it from the postman or from the client, doesn't have the ID. So we need to once it is stored into the DB doc once it is stored in the DB, this document, this data will have its object ID generated from MongoDB. So MongoDB will generate an ID and that ID will be associated with this data. So that's what we are doing over here, and then we are returning the document. So if you hit uh, get this created user in Postman, it will come with the ID. Okay, or else when we create this user, we will get a response with the ID itself. Now get user by email, of course, this is optional. Fetch a raw user document by email or none if not found. For example, if that user is not there in the DB, it do not found anything, it will say none or the user doesn't exist. Okay, and if it finds one, if that email exists in our DB, so we are returning from user collection. Find one is the method uh, or the code for MongoDB, and here we are returning that particular email, and this email we are taking from the user, and we are first lowering it in the lowercase. If by mistake user enter any of the caps, and then we are checking it and then we are returning it. Okay, that's what it's a getting a user by email. Get user by ID is the same thing here, same code, but find one here. If you can see, find with the ID. Okay, try object ID. Object ID is nothing but ID given from ID given by MongoDB to our data. An exception is invalid ID or type error. In type error, I already explained you many lives. Invalid ID means that ID doesn't exist. So this was all about the user in user module. Now employee model is too big. It's 209 lines of code. So I will be touching the important part, and rest I think it is self-explanatory here, because I've already added many comments in between the code for you all to understand. Okay, so just remember this. I've created one uh, example here. For right now, I've created one variable, allow sort fields, and it holds salary, joining date, and first name. Okay, just remember this. We will be utilizing this in below. Okay, so first thing first, we have created the next employee ID, and it takes a value as input as string. Okay, so here is the deep explanation about this. Generate the next sequential employee ID in the form EMP001. So I've already shown you like MongoDB gives its ID to the data, but we also give an employee ID to the employee. The first employee will be EMP001. So the next one should be EMP-002. So this is the code to generate that. Uses the count of existing employee as a simple dependency free blah blah blah. You can read it offline. I don't want to just bore you in this live going through that. Ultimately you will be reading that offline to understand this. Okay, so here count employee underscore collection. Of course, now we are talking about employees, not user. That's why the collection has been changed. Employee underscore collection dot count documents. For example, we have 5 documents, means we have 5 employees in DB. So that 5 plus 1 will be the next employee ID will be EMP hyphen 000. This 004D means 30 and the number, which is in our case 5 plus 1 will be 6. So this is a simple logic we are generating the next EMP employee ID. Okay, next the serializing employee. So I've already explained you in the user module. This is to convert a MongoDB employee document into the JSON one. So it's the same thing now. The joining date is an instant during the joining date and time. Here we are just taking the date and time. This is the main thing, the ID, the employee ID, which we have generated and given to that particular employee, the first name and email, everything, each and every data. Let me open that data too in MongoDB. Let me go to the employees. This is all those data. See the object ID, name, last name, email, phone number, department, salary, joining date is active, profile created, and of course at the end employee ID. This all data is in document format, and we need to send this document format to Postman or to website or to Swagger. So we need to convert this into the JSON. That's what this code is all about. So we are converting here. Understood? Or else vice versa. from Postman you need to send it. So Postman works in a JSON format, API works in JSON format, so we are converting those JSON into a document format and storing into the DB, vice versa. Okay, same thing here, we are creating the employee and inserting a new employee document with auto generated ID. That's what I've explained you, and this is how we are saving the document. Same thing here, there's a last underscore error, so retry a few times in unlikely event of employee ID collision under the current concurrent insert. For example, in our case we are working offline over here, and we are the one who are using this application. But in real world, if you have your backend or front end application and thousands of user while trying to register or create their account, so that is known as concurrent insert. So thousands of user successfully created their account, and that should be stored in your DB itself. In our case it's MongoDB, so this is known as concurrent scenario. Okay, so might there can be an error, or how it can be stored. So it says last error equals to none, means initially there was no error. For dash in range, you can name this dash whatever you want. Document employee ID equals to next employee ID. We are checking the employee ID because with the help of that employee ID is uni, we can check it easily. 001, 002, 003, 004. That's why I'm checking it with the employee ID. I find in that way it is easier. You can have your own condition here also. You can check with the MongoDB ID also. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is result equals to employee underscore collection. Why? Of course, because we are dealing with employees only. Insert one document, so this is the one document we are trying to insert. And of course, document ID initially it won't have document ID. See, there is no document ID over here. Of course, it won't have the employee ID here. Both of them will be not there because employee ID we are generating and document ID MongoDB is generating. Okay, so that's why this insert and everything and returning the document. If something went wrong, exception as exe, this is a exception is re-raised after retries. So if someone tried to send same data again and again, means concurrent hitting of the APIs, so this type of exceptions can be raised, and we have already handled this type of exception saying 404, 500 and whatsoever. Okay, so it says raise last error, so this count will be increased to none to something else if it is error. If not, it will be none, and the document will be stored in the DB itself, and then we will retrieve from DB and show in Postman. That's what the next function or method is, get employee by ID. Okay, so with the help of object ID, we are getting that employee, or else we are handling the exception. To get it, we have already seen find one in DB. Find one is the MongoDB command, and it requires one parameter, and parameter is nothing but the object ID itself, because with the help of object ID, we are searching that employee and then returning it to the Postman. Okay, same is nothing but to find the employee by email. So same command will be the same. Now it will be email instead of ID. And now this is important, update employee, this is important. So update employee, okay, again we are updating the employee but with the help of ID itself, MongoDB ID itself, not employee ID, MongoDB ID. So we are passing that MongoDB ID, and it is in the form of string, and this update underscore data is nothing but the dictionary we need to pass to change anything, change the salary, change the name, change the surname, whatsoever. Okay, so here it says apply a partial update to an employee document and return the updated document. So we update the document and send it to MongoDB, and MongoDB in response will send me the updated data. That's what I meant over here. And this is optional. The complete dictionary is optional because we can send one data, we can send more than one data. Means we can update one data, we can update more than one data, or else we can update everything leaving the ID, object ID. Okay, so that's why this try and error, I'm not going again and again through what I've already explained. Now this is self-explanatory why we need to handle the exception. If not updated data, return the employee collection, find one with the ID. Means if you are not updating anything, just return the employee with that same employee associated with the ID. So example, EMP001, so return the EMP001 ID, but we are not searching with the employee ID, we are searching with the object ID of MongoDB. Okay, here if this is the another scenario, if joining date is updated and we are changing the joining date, so this is how we are updating that particular data. Now this is, we are working with the list and dictionary, that's why box bracket here, update data, under box bracket we have joining data, and now we are updating that particular thing, means the time itself. If you are getting difficult to understand this, please make sure you first go through my error handling video, then oops concept, and then list and dictionary. This three if you know inside out, then automatically you will understand this is the variable, the list name, the box bracket is the list, or else in JSON also if you know JSON, and this is the operation I am performing, means I am combining the updated joining date and times and minute of that particular instance. Okay, same here I'm doing with the email. If email in updated data and updated data email is not none, initially if they are not none means they are same, means we have not touched the email itself, we have not touched, or we have not updated the user email itself, and it can't be touched because this is the unique parameter, this is the unique parameter. We can update it, but I don't want anyone touch the email. So make sure if your primary key is there in your code, make sure nobody can update it. And same with the other things, other parameters. Update one, if someone wants to update the ID, set the updated data, we are setting the updated data, means we are sending the updated data to MongoDB and store it, and then we are returning that particular employee by finding with the object ID itself. Okay, so two things we need to understand over here is we can't update the ID and we don't want to update the email, so don't allow anyone to update the ID and object ID of the MongoDB. Okay, here if you are understanding this, we are updating the object ID, which is wrong. We are updating the data, the updated data from above. If you are changing the name, the joining date, or anything else, we are updating the data and we are saying the MongoDB update one. So MongoDB asking us what you want to update. I am saying that these are the data I want to update, and this data is associated with that particular ID. Okay, this line means this, and then again find one, and we are returning that updated data to the postman. Now this is the set profile image. We are dealing with image. I have not talked about the image, only I have talked about the upload file in this slide. So how this image and everything is being stored, again same, it's nothing but set profile images. We are not storing the image itself in the MongoDB, we are storing the image name like EMP001 and then some alphanumeric number like -47692.png if it is a PNG file. So it is ultimately a string, and again the try and exception block, and then we are storing that image file name. In our case it's file name, in real it will be a file name plus its address, like if Amazon S3 bucket, the URL and file name. Okay, and we are updating the time, because anything we do with the employee data, we should update the date and time, because we know that lastly when was this data was touched or modified. Okay, and then again we are returning the updated data of that particular employee. So this line you will find very common, and this try and exception you will find very common. The only code is changing is this line, and of course this is also is very common. It depend on the method name, and according to that method what is required inside this parenthesis. Understood? So see here also soft delete. So on time of delete we are not passing anything, we are just required the ID, so we are taking the ID, and the complete body is optional, we don't need to pass the body. If required you want to pass it, and then try exception is the same, and returning by find one ID is the same. The only logic we are doing is inside this 3 lines. So that's why the file is big, because the majority of code is repeated, but the main logic is within the 3 lines or 2 lines. So project is big, but that it's not that hard. In real world also, you will find in one file you will find 2000 3000 lines of code, and you will say, okay, is this too hard, this work is too hard. It's not hard, it's just a repetition of the code again and again. The logic is within the 5 line, 10 line, 15 line, or 35 lines. Okay. So here we are updating one. What we are doing is object ID, and with that object ID we are finding that particular employee, and we are marking this is active to false and updating the time. So marking it is active as false means this employee doesn't work in this organization, and we are doing a soft delete. What is a soft delete? Means we are keeping the data but marking the status of that employee is inactive. Is active false means it is inactive. We are not completely deleting the employee data, and no company does. Okay, let's jump onto the employee list. So it's nothing but this is optional, this is optional, 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 everything is optional over here. Okay. I why it is optional? Because we are dealing with an update put call, so we can update the name. It's not mandate, it's optional. You can't, you, if you don't want to, don't update it. If you are not updating it, it will be none. None means in DB it won't go and update my name. For example, I've created a user with my name Nilesh, and while time of updating I want to update my salary from 50,000 to 60,000. Okay, so I can only update my salary if I didn't touch the name, department, and is active, joining year, other parameters. So it will set as none, but it doesn't go inside the DB and update my real values like my name Nilesh to none. It won't do it. Okay, understand this. So these are all the parameters, and it is in a tuple. Why tuple? Why we are having a tuple here, not list? Because there is a one functionality of tuple, and this is really handy, that in tuple what you can't do, that I'm saying na ki it won't go and store in the DB the none. It will, if you have this as list, it will override my name to none, but because of tuple it won't override it, because tuple is immutable. Just go through my that video also if you don't know about what is mutable and immutable. Okay, query employee with search, filtering, sorting, and pagination, return a tuple of a total count list of raw documents. So this is was query about the pagination and the total count and everything. So this we have came across that. We can search the query. We can search the person with their name, with their last name. This is a searching technique now. I have done over here. We can search them with the department name. Of course, we can search with their backend developer, front end developer, and we can search if they are active or not. So simply this two lines of code, we can filter them with the help of salary. For example, in interview someone says that I want a particular person whose salary is more than 50,000. Not particular, I want the group of people whose salaries are 50,000. So this type of filters we apply on the APIs. In DB, if you are working with a SQL, you will say select star from table name, and then you will create your filtration. The salary is greater than equals to, that is the MySQL part. But in API we create a filters. So this is the filter logic. If minimum salary is not none, filter means in filter in API. Let me quickly show you that also. Yeah, here. So here if you see department engineering, sort by salary, and sort order descending or ascending, page limit 1, limit 10. This API I'm talking about, this is the code. We can sort with multiple things. We can filter with minimum salary, maximum salary, or we can just say salary as a filter. That in Postman I have done. So the third one I have done, but we can check for maximum salary, minimum salary, and here also we can filter with name, we can filter with department, we can filter with page limits, we can filter with is active or not, we can filter with joining year, we can filter with the total employees if you want to see. So you can filter with the total employee, you can have all the total employee here. And cursor employee collection dot find query, the query is nothing but these are all the queries. If you know MySQL or MongoDB, we run query inside our databases. Okay, also you can sort with ascending and descending order. So the sort field can be when it was created. So if you want to search who is the oldest employee working in your organization, so you can use the created ad and you can sort in ascending order. So the first employee will be the oldest employee working in your organization. And this is the code, this is a basic code just I have created for all the sorting and filtering. Hope you understand employee underscore model.py file. Let's jump on to the last part, which is nothing but routers, and start with auth.py because this is for the users, and then we will come to employee.py. And this is where everything comes all together, all the logic, all the upload file, util, schemas, middleware, models, database, each and every file we have seen, it comes to route itself, because I am talking about the API from start, from many lives. But here, where is my API, where is my API endpoint, what is the call, how you decide this is a post call, put call, get call, delete call. So routes is one of the main file who make sure what type of call it will be and what are we doing inside that call, because this should all go inside main.py. But in real world we don't overload main.py, we create this type of architecture. Now you will understand why this is important. Now I have middleware in place, model in place, routes in place, schema. If anything happened with schema, I will go inside schema and solve the schema issue. If I have a issue with error handling or any logging issue, I know it is inside the middleware. This is the job of middleware. I will go inside the middleware module, and inside that I have two files, and then I will apply the debugger and debug the code and fix the issue. That's why this architecture is important in the real world. Okay, let's start with the post call. Give me a few seconds, let me have some water. Sorry. Okay, let's start. Let's start. First thing first, you can see on the line number 12, I have created a variable known as routers equals to API router, and it has a free prefix. So that's why you can see for each and every API I have slash API slash v1 slash auth for the users. If you want to see it again, let me open this file and let me close this. If you see all the authentication API, it has API v1 auth, API v1 auth login, register, API v1 auth me. All three has the same routes. This is because of this router. Okay, and the tag is, it is used only for authentication. That's why it is inside or under, you can say, authentication. It is inside or under, these three are inside or under authentication. Okay, that is a job of tag. With the help of tag, it is there. Okay, let's start with the post. If we are creating a new user, at the rate router dot post, so this will be the prefix, and after this h slash register will be there. Okay, this is how this is working. Response model is user response. So if I control click on it, I will jump onto the user schema, and this is the schema. I've already explained you, we required name, we required email, we required role. This three things is required. This is the schema. While time of saving in the DB, the DB creates the ID and created it, but the user only needs to provide the name, email and role. Okay, this is the schema we need to follow. Means that is a structure. The status code should be 201 created, of course, and summary should says that register a new user, of course. And description, create a new user account with a hash password, email must be unique. Understood? The email should be unique and create and password should be hashed. So this is our post body call. Now this is the only thing. This is the summary, the description. Where is this going, why we have written this? So it's nothing but here in authentication, the post here, create a new user account with a hash password, email must be unique. This is how this document is being created. We are the one who's passing those information. Understood? We are the one who are responsible to pass those information. That's why it has this info, and rest of the things it is doing, like no parameter request body required, the schema value, and this all it is generating on its own, but we are the one who's giving the summary and description. Okay, the main logic of this post starts with this method def register. This is a method. Payload is user register. I've already shown you what is inside that. Existing user, first we are checking if this email exists or not. Okay, so this is nothing but we are checking the email exists or not. If existing user is not none, raise exception saying that a user with this email already exists. Means existing user, it will check in the DB. I've already explained you all the error handlings and exception handling. It will check in the DB that we are trying to register a new user and email is same. If it is same, raise an error. If it is not, then we need to store in the form of user register, which is nothing but hash password, email, the name, and the role. So this is the exceptions. Here we are trying to store the name, email, hash password, and role. So let's verify this in DB, that in user model create user is a MongoDB command. We are creating it, and sorry, create one is a MongoDB command. Let me open DB and let's click on the user and let's see email, name, hash password, and role, and create an ID. ID is added by MongoDB, created as created by, or the time from us. So this for value we are taking from the user itself. Okay, and duplicate key error is nothing but conflict 409. This is the exception, and the HTTP exception is we are handling over here is a user with the email exists. If the same, we are trying to create the email with the same user with the same email. Okay, I already explained you this, why we are using this and doc and everything, because I've already told you this vice versa one, JSON into document, document to JSON. Okay, I'm not iterating and repeating myself. Then again the post call. So now post call should generate a token. So summary, logging in and receive a JWT token. So try to log in with the email ID and password, and if email matches and password matches, then you will get a JWT token. So here is the method how you will get it. So def login and user login and token will be generated. So user module get user by email. Of course, email, we first get the email, and if user is none or not verified password, payload dot password user hash password. This is nothing but I'm passing the data from the payload body itself. This is how you need to pass it. So at that time raise an exception saying 401, because if email not match or password didn't match, anyone out of this both, so invalid email or password, so it says 401 unauthorized, and that bearer token should not be generated. Okay, if it is good, if we have a proper email ID and password, so the token should be generated, and the type of the token is bearer, and it should have a expiry time limit. So we already set it to 60. Okay, and this is the small variable which is holding a few values, create access token, and for whom we need to create it, for the email and role we need to create that access token. So this variable I am passing here, if you see, it's the same thing here, it's the same thing. And then for this email we are generating an token, and that token expiry is 60 minutes. Means we are making sure that this email and the role, just take an example of email. Here we are making sure that the token generated for this user is associated with email. Okay, and from here then from once it is associated, and we are storing the access token in this variable, and then we are returning it. So returning the access token, and we are saying that its type is bearer and the expiry time is 60. We are returning it in a token format, which is nothing but in the postman we are returning this. Okay, here we are making sure it is associated with email, and of course everything is in the document, so we need to convert it to the JSON or a string format. Now get me, which is the last for the authentication for the user. Get me is nothing but, if you read this, get currently authenticated user or return the profile of user identified with the bearer token. So this I've created to verify that we created the user, and then we tried to log in and generated the access token, which is nothing but a bearer token. So with the help of that bearer token, are we able to get the particular user data which we have created? So that is why I've created this get call and /me. Slash means that token is working for me or not. If that token is working for me, I will get my data. So in description it also says return the profile of that particular user identified by the bearer token. Okay, and here a function is get me current user dictionary. Depends, get the current user means get the from the model, and this is to convert the document into the JSON format and get the current user associated with that bearer token itself. So this is how every magic and everything is happening, because each and every file of code for the user we are getting into this place, and we are combining everything here. Okay, same for the employee.py, same we are doing here. And if you see, because now we need to deal with the roles also. So here if you see, the router has been changed from API v1 auth to API v1 employees, and here now we are dealing with the admin or HR and admin only. Why we came the role access over here is, now this employee py, now we will be creating delete, update, get employees, get particular employee, update particular employee. That's why we required the role, because employee can only check their datas but can't update their data, can't delete their data, can't delete or update any others employee data, or can't even see other employees data. But HR can create new employees, can see new employees, can update new employees data, but can't delete it. Admin can do everything. That's why we required this two variable which is based on roles. Hope you got it. Okay, so this three lines I hope you understood, and here this is an response. And why we created the response, because everything in Python is in form of dictionary. While saving this dictionary into DB, it should be form of document, and getting from the DB in a form of JSON, it should be converted into the JSON format from document to JSON. That's why that serialize employee doc we are passing. So I've already explained you this function. I'm not going to explain you again and again. And assert can view. So this is nothing but if you read this, admin HR can view anyone, but employee can only view their own records. I've already explained this. So how this is done, so first we get the role of that particular user and store in this variable, and now with the help of if condition, I'm checking if role in role.admin.value at same time, and it should be HR. Either it can be admin or HR. If it is both, the role is admin or HR, it can be any one of it can't be both at the same time. The particular user can be admin or an HR, so they can access, they can view anyone's data. That's why I'm returning everything from here. If employee doc email, first before checking it, I'm lower casing everything, and checking the current email again in the lowercase. If those matches, so first condition is checking the role, second condition is checking the email. Okay, if the role is employee, what will happen? Then it will jump to exception. An exception says 403 forbidden, you are only permitted to view your own profile. So if role is employee, so we are not we don't have any condition to check for employees. Okay, we only have condition to check for admin and HR. That's why this second if is there. If the employee doc email, we are checking that this current user match with the employee doc email, means the employee is trying to access the data of others employee, then the exception will raise and it says 403 you are only permitted to view your own profile. Okay, then next jump on to the next post call. Employee response, sorry, next, it's not next, it's the same only. It is create a new employee, record requires admin or HR role. Okay, so creating new employees required the user as a admin or HR. So this is post call. Then this is the definition, means the method what is being done under this post call is this the body. So payload employee create means it should contain each and everything of the employee, and then the creation of it depends on either you are HR or admin. So this variable is coming from the above I have shown you here, the role admin or HR, so that variable is coming from there, line number 61. And here if employee model gets employee by email, payload email is not none, so there is an exception. Not none means not none here means nothing but I have codewithnm.com, Nilesh @codewithnm.com, this is my email, and again I'm trying to create your email, your user with the same email. It should say conflict and employee with the same email already exists. This is simple logic over here. And if we are dealing with exception, we need to also have a try and proper, if this is not an exception, in try block we are dumping everything, means we are creating that particular employee. Okay, we and that exceptional is also handled with the duplicate key exception status code 409, and employee with the this email or employee ID also exists. So you might be thinking why I have done two types of exceptions over here. So one is only for the email, and the second one is if email if we are passing the new email but the employee ID is matching. So this is also edge case scenario, so employee ID cannot be same. So we need to handle each and everything in the API in the post call. Okay, this all should get in your mind as being a backend engineer. We need to handle this all the exceptions and everything as a backend engineer. Now getting this is important and this is huge. This might be confusing you all because this is the pagination and filtering and the query we are performing on the API. I've already shown you this. Let me quickly open this. This is the API I am talking about. This employee, department, engineering, sort by salary, sort by order, in descending order, page limit should be 1, and the overall limit of the data on the one page should be 10. This is coming with the help of this get. So let's see if it is a get call. Yes, this is a get call. Okay, so we verified that. And paginated employee response, we have already seen this in the schemas. And it's the summary is list and search employee, means it will list all the employees or the search parameter we have applied, so that type of thing. So return the paginated list of employees supported by search name, filter by department, salary, active status, joining year, and sorting by salary, joining date or name, request admin or HR role. So this API can be performed when the user role is admin or HR. No employee can perform this. Okay, so this is a definition of list or employee, name, department, anything. We can pass anything from here. Everything is optional. Either we can pass one for the filtering or we can pass everything. That's why everything is optional over here. So I'm not touching it again. I think I already explained you all time of schemas. Okay, and of course the pagination, total document, how many documents we have, so that will be the docs, total docs. And this all, it's nothing but we are matching the query from the API itself. So this is known as query. After question mark, this is known as API query. This is query. this query. So department equals to engineering, name equals to name, sorted by equals to salary. That's what I am doing over here, is that query name should equals to name, that department should equals to department, and left side variable then we are searching in our DB, and then we are returning as a response. Okay, so I'm not explaining this. I think you all got it, that part. Okay, the next is get employee by ID. So this is simple. We need to pass that employee ID. That's what's the explanation. I'm not going into it. So we will be asking from the API pass the employee ID. So once the API ID is passed, we will check and match that employee ID in the DB. If that ID matches, we found the data of that employee, and we will be sending those data as a response document, and after converting to the JSON format to Postman. If not that ID, if we don't find that ID, then raise an exception of 404 and says employee not found. Simple. This is a simple, easiest example. Okay. And put is the update one. So again we are asking the ID for the employee we are updating, and again this is only possible for the admin and HR. The user has the role of admin and HR. That is then only it is possible to update any employee ID. And again, first we'll check if that employee exists or not in the DB. If it doesn't exist, we will raise an exception 404, and if it exists, then we will check with what data they are trying to update over here. And of course this is another exception I have handled with the name. Here if you see the HTTP exception status code for 409 conflict, another employee already used this email. For example, if someone tries to update the email itself, that's why I told you we need to have a logic in place, and this is the logic that we won't allow anyone to update that email, because updating put call, we are allowing them, everything is optional, so they can update their email also. So might you can be over smart and you try to get access of your manager's laptop, so you try to update your email, but that's why the update is only possible with the help of admin and HR. But in scenario, if HR is your friend or is your friend, and they try to update the email in friendship, so they won't be able to do it, because it is coded in that way that this is conflicting. You cannot have the same email because another employee already used this email. Okay, so you can't update the email because we have coded in that way. Okay, that's why nobody can over smart in an organization, because it is the system has been developed in such way. Okay. And if everything fit finds, then we should update the data. So that's why we updated the data and written the response. And here also I have handled the exceptions. That is the same exception of 409. Another employee already used it's the same thing only, but here if you see, it is with the ID and updated data. Okay, above here I'm only checking with the email, here I'm checking with the employee ID. It might the case we can try to update the employee ID, and we need to say this employee ID. So you need to update this. Let me update this. Okay, I will do it offline. This error message should be another employee already use this employee ID, but that employee ID doesn't make any sense. That's why I have wrote this email. So if someone tries to update the ID. Okay, delete one, it's simply deleting first. We are checking if the employee ID exists or not. If not, we will say not found, of course, for not found. The same code again and again. And if it is found, we are soft deleting it, and I've already shared you what is soft deleting. We are just raising a flag is active to false, and then we are returning that updated document to the postman in JSON format. Here now we come to the profile, and for the profile image I've have this endpoint is /employee ID, because we need to have that particular employee ID for whom we try to upload the profile image, of course. And again this is the format of file. So file upload file is a method of the FastAPI, and that is how, let me open this, and that is how we are doing here. Now I think it is visible to you all. So here in the body, we need to come to the form data, and here the file. This is the file. That's why in code, what I've clicked by mistake. Sorry. So here, this is a file we are asking an upload file. That's why in Postman, here it is the format is file only. The format is file, not text. And here we are attaching means we are uploading file uploaded to the team or new file from local machine upload. This is the upload one, the value. So the description is the image file can be jpeg, png or webp. Okay, these are the file formats we are supporting. So we are means this upload file can support. Okay, and this of course the profile picture can only be updated by the role which are admin or hr. Okay, and again the that employee ID not found, so it will raise 404. Or if it is found, then how we are saving it. This is we need to understand this. First, os.path means we need to find this upload folder, os.path split file name, which is we are in our case the file name. Let me show you the file name itself first. So here if you see the file name of profile image is emp001, then we are adding underscore and then we are generating an arbitrary value and the original format of the file.png. So that's what this code is all about here. So first we are getting the file name and then we are splitting that file name, and this is the splitting means it's nothing but we are extracting the format of the file.png, and I'm storing that extension in here. Means if it is not PNG, not JPG, not JPG, JPEG, and not Webpack, means ultimately we are extracting the file path and we are extracting the extension. Extension means .py, .txt, .docs, and .png. So this is holding PNG. Now we are checking it if it is PNG or not, means allowed image extension or not. If it is not, we will say bad request. Someone is trying to upload mp3, mp4, they are over smart, so they are trying to upload something else, and then we say unsupported file. We need to handle this exception. So this is how we handle this exception, and we will say unsupported file, and the allowed file are and the allowed image extension are, then this will come, this will display to them as an error message. Unsupported file and the allowed file are this. So where this allowed image extension is, we have stored in .env, and okay, this is okay. Let me get back to, I was in routes py. Okay, so this is here. Now this is the file config.py I have not touched and talked about. So config.py files holds all the related OS related thing. Means here we have all those things which is locally in our system, which we are dealing locally in our systems. Okay, if you see, I again have this, but this is not required over here. Workspace db name, again I have this because os dot get env. So from get environment os dot get env, and we are having this all. So the you can have this all also in environment variable, or else you can have this all in config.py, but make sure you don't have this in config.py, or else if you are having it, make sure this file don't upload it to the cloud. This all should be inside env files, environment variable files, and should be hidden. Okay, you can have this over here, allowed images. You can also have this upload maximum size, but you can't have it the proper location and the secret key and algorithm over here. Okay, this all should go inside the URL, this MongoDB URI, and your DB name should go inside the environment variable. Okay, I think you got it. I don't want to spend much more time over that. So this is how we handle the exception if someone try to be over smart and don't want to upload the actual file image format. But if they upload a proper file, then we are setting the maximum byte, and it will be in MB. So 102 into 10 24, sorry, and this will be a biggest number, and the maximum upload size is nothing but 5. So 5 into 1024 into 1024. Now you should have a question that 5 MB, how it is converted to the 5 MB. So this is how 5 into 1024 makes it 5 KB. Now 5 KB into 1024 makes it 5 MB. This is how 5 MB is the maximum byte. So I'm just taking in if the length contains maximum byte. If the length is greater than maximum byte, it's nothing but 5 MB. Raise an exception, bad request, file exceed the maximum allowed limit. And then setting dot maximum upload size means size of this is nothing but 5. This is holding the value 5 itself. Okay, and here I've typed MB. So this is one of the exception I have handled over here. And then unique file name, because we need an employee ID, so we are getting that employee ID, for example EMP005 and underscore UUID, and then hex value means arbitrary value that I have already shown you, and the extension means .png, and this extension we have already extracted over here. Okay, and then the file path will be os.path.joint and upload dir and unique file name means it should be /upload, means we are saying that upload, store that file in /upload. Here if you see it down below, if it is visible, emp-001 underscore. So this is the underscore. This is not magically coming. This is we are adding that underscore and that arbitrary value over here with that is with the help of this, and that value is up to 8. We are saying that make it up to 8. That's why it is up to 8. You can increase if you want, you can decrease if you want. Okay, that is how it is storing the file. And if you are we are opening that file, if you want to open that file, but again, to save anything in the folder structure, now here is a concept of file handling. That's why I've told you, if you want to be a backend engineer and come up till here, you need to know about the oops, you need to know about the list and dictionary, you need to know about file handling, error handling, everything. So to store anything inside the file system in Python, we need to open it into the write mode. So that's why to store it, we are opening our image or the employee image in the write mode, and then that's why this is now being stored with the help of this code. It is stored here in this upload folder, and now once it is stored, we need to just update the proper file ID and unique name all together in our DB itself. That's why in DB it is stored as emp ID underscore and the unique file name which we have given with the proper extension, and then return it to the postman. Okay, let me show you in the DB itself. I've already showed you. So this is how it is stored in the updated in the DB. Okay, so this is done. I've touched and explained you each and every file. This was the whole project. If I maximize the whole project, this is what you will see, and I hope you get this. I know it is a bit more to get in one shot, but make sure you go through the previous live and this live. The first live was about the explanation of the concept of bcrypt and JWT and other things. And just a second, I'm getting a call. I'm back. So in first live, I've already explained you the bcrypt and the JWT token, bearer token, and all the concept. In this live, I walk you through the detail level of code explanation. And not today, but tomorrow morning, I will be sharing you the code on Discord. And if you are watching this video live and not joined my Discord, make sure you join it. I will also share this code in the pin comment of this video once it is offline, so you can download it from the pin comment. And this code will be available on my website, Code with NM. I can't directly share this code. This is a huge project, and Discord won't allow me to share this much, this big project in there. So I will be uploading this complete project on my website, and it will be free, 1,001,00,000% free. There you just need to click on download, and you will be able to use it in your system. Okay, and of course it will have all the required thing, how to install this requirement.txt too, and I will be pinging my website link, exact link where you will be able to find this project and download it. Okay, so and also make sure to join the Discord. There I do announcement and other stuffs also. So if there is any doubt, you can ask me right here right away. I will be waiting for a few seconds, or else we will be winding off. And people who are joining the Discord, make sure you follow the instructions. I've seen many of you have joined the Discord recently, but to get all the access to the Discord, you need to perform certain things. First thing is, you need to introduce yourself in hash introduce yourself channel. Here you can find that hash introduce channel. Come here, like already people have introduced themselves, many people have introduced themselves, so make sure you introduce yourself, and then you will have all the access to the channel, and then you can see the session notes, the roadmap, the announcement, and the general discussion and everything. Because why I have made it so, by joining the Discord and introducing yourself is the first step we come out of the fear. Because in interview, the first thing is, tell me about yourself. So that's why I've created in such a way. You join my Discord, you introduce yourself, and then I will provide all the access to my Discord. Of course, learning is free on Code with NM. Discord is free, and everything on my website, sharing the code and everything will be free there. If I also I give some paid projects also, is up to you. If you want to buy it, you buy it. It's just in 99 rupees, 69 rupees, 79 rupees, 49 rupees. Why I'm making it as paid is because that consumes online database and my hosting and everything costing me, and of course my extra time goes behind it. So it's up to you. If I'm making something paid, it's up to you. If you want to buy it, you buy it. You don't want to buy it, don't want to buy it. It's nothing, just you see, oh, you are telling it everything is free, but you are selling it. I will not sell anything which I am teaching live here. If it is taught on live, if it is taught on my YouTube, I won't sell it. I will give you each and everything free. If it helps you to learn something, if it is there in your learning curve, I will be giving you free. But the extra projects I am doing on waking up at night or Sunday, I'm spending behind some good projects that I'm doing it, I will be selling that. So if you are interested, then only you buy it. It's not force that you should buy it. Okay, I'm just clearing this because many people get this confusion. So I'm not selling anything to you. Each and every thing which I'm teaching in live or on my YouTube will be provided to you completely free, and Discord is also completely free. Okay, out of this, if I'm doing a project which is I'm not teaching on YouTube, but that project is very good and wonderful, I will be selling it on my platform. But it is bare minimum. 99 rupees is nothing but $1. Or I will be selling, it can be 39 49 rupees, which is half a dollar, 40 cents, 30 cents. Okay, because that project I am doing it offline, not teaching live on YouTube, and it takes my times and efforts, and also costing of DB and other things are there. So that's why I'm clearing. In future, if you find any of the project paid over there, don't just come and bombard me with the questions that you have told you will be doing everything free. Yes, of course, I'm doing everything for free, but that thing which are limited to YouTube, if that is on my YouTube, I will be giving it to you as 1000% free. If I'm teaching any source code, any project live, I will be providing that source code, that project free to you. But offline also, I have done many good projects that I want to sell it. If you want, if you're interested to buy, you can buy it and increase your weightage of your resume. Okay, so I think there is no doubt or any question from you all. So I'm on a mission to make you market ready software engineer. Code with precision, ship with vision. Subscribe now and join the mission, and make sure you come with lots of doubt in my next live, because here I am ending with the Python developer backend series. Any doubt regarding this complete bootcamp, this complete series, you can join my Discord and answer me, question me and bombard me with all the questions, and I will be happy to clearing them all. The next live I will be starting with nothing but data analyst. So in next live I will be starting with data analyst. People, those who are interested to become a data analyst, make sure you join my next live. And if you are interested to jump onto the ML, AI and data science, so you are the one who should be first in my next live in data analysis. Why? Because there we will understand what is data, how data looks, and how we process data. Okay, so see you in the next live. Take care. God bless you.